And live from not actually a studio, a house in London, and an abode of an unknown exact specific thing where are you? You're Denmark, right?
Denmark, yeah.
Denmark, which is another country in Europe. We are Malarin, king of the casters, and Torobot, princess of the casters.
Aha.
I still need to cut that picture out for you. You know, I could put a background on it, so anyway.
Fantastic.
It's going to be a good one today because we've got some interesting lineups. But the games are already set up. We've got Ouroboros versus Polaris, which could be a good one. Gravity versus One Hit Wonders, which should be a clean sweep. Smash Dash and Egg Boys. So that's going to be Egg Boys' debut. More about them in a moment. And Next Gen versus Wasted Potential with the Mariachis, having the default win. So I'm thinking maybe Polaris versus Ouroboros could be the game here. But I feel like Ouroboros have probably got better games in them today. So maybe...
I feel like that too. I feel like probably Polaris has better games than them as well.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what we're going to go with here, dude. Help me out. Like, Next Gen versus Wasted... This seems like the most relaxed lineup out of all the rounds. So maybe this should be the one where we give Wasted Potential and Next Gen a shot at it. I
think that sounds like a good idea, just because it's like a chill startup thing.
Yeah. Like, I feel like this is... This is a very relaxed round. So let's go with that. I need Next Gen. Who's on Next Gen?
Oh, and we're not being streamed today, so we can just frolic in the fields of Arena.
Full reign of these bad boys.
Hell yeah.
You know what I need to do though? Holy Mother of Mary, of Joseph and Lucifer, I have not opened my Oculus client. I've completely forgotten to do that. Because last time, of course, I didn't have my Oculus, but I have been reunited with it.
I have been reunited with it,
and I'm so happy. Right. Places.
Wasted Potential. Are you're writing the people and getting the things?
I am doing my best. The problem with these guys is they are often not expected to be streamed, and so they don't really pay attention. But
I'll send them some invites in game.
Yeah, send out some invites and see if what you can work with.
Wasted Potential. This is, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the 5th cup, so the 2nd cup in the 2nd stage for the Echo Arena of the EU. We're looking very much forward to it. We have a couple of changes as you went into, and we'll probably be talking about. And of course, you know, just a cup, a 5-round cup, I think, something like that.
I mean, we're so far into the season already. Like, we always knew this season was going to be, a short one, and it is. But it's already coming to a kind of. We're coming up to these final kind of qualifier moments, and it's going to be really, really interesting because even now the team changes are still going on, and not just at the bottom too. You know, we're talking about like top team changes. This is really, really quite something. I do not know if these guys are going to accept us.
Oh, I have Simon Dage. Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, nice. Let me.
Sounds correct. Hell yeah. Let's get you invited. Things should be good. Oh, I will. Also, just remember that I actually have a stream that I need to do and show you what is happening. Now, I should say there will be replays, but it's a lot more complicated than it seems to get a replay thing in there. So, a replay indicator in there, so it won't be there this time, but I'll make sure to say whenever there's a replay. Oh, wait, who am I neglecting? I'm apparently neglecting something. I don't know.
I'm more of a someone than a something, Malarin, but that's fine. I'm cool. Okay. Whatever, man. If you feel like I'm your property, I'm down with that.
Can be my boy toy.
Yeah, nearly said it. All right.
I've been doing. I think my favorite joke. Like that I've been doing these couple of days, I think, is saying something and then stopping myself and then saying, well, I'm really glad I didn't say, and then just say it. That's
I like to do that.
My favorite.
Like, hickory dickory dock, get off my big clock.
I'm really glad I didn't say cock there.
Whoa.
There we go.
Dokie then. So we are good. We are ready. We are set up to go.
So
this is a new team. Is the Wasted Potential, as they call themselves. And they are predominantly from the realms of public gaming, in the fact that we don't see them often other than in pubs. And then on the other team, we have got, again, some new guys. We've got Swingley, who we do see now and then. Felix White, who often joins the upper bracket players in mixed scrims. And Dage, also known as Dagi. We are all very aware of. He's been around for a good while, and he has got some moves.
He's actually been really killing it in combat.
Has he? That's interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting. Sometimes you've got a lot of the people in these games, and they're really good at arena, and their kind of maneuverability, and their kind of just general kind of dexterity in VR, and then they just don't have that little X factor or the it's arena, so the A factor in this sense. But they move over to combat, and it just makes more sense to them. Another good example of that is Ducky. Ducky was never really a top tier player, and I don't think he probably ever quite would have been in arena, but he is very, very good at combat. There's no denying it. You can't take anything away from him. I think a lot of people could have played combat as much as him and maybe been as good, but at the same time, I don't think they would have. He's just better at that game. But this isn't combat. This is arena.
It is indeed arena, and this is the first game of 5, right? It's 5.
Yes, it will be 5 today. So they fixed the spectate thing. So now when we go to our precious F, it is going to go to the disc holder and not to someone random, right?
Yeah, it's going to go to the disc holder, and if you press F again, it's going to go to the second person that's closest.
This is how we do it. This is nice. This is how it was in OC5 when I did it, and this is how it was in... it was a bit different. In Poland, it was, of course, it was combat. So...
That is really good. And they also fixed the free cam, so thank you very much. If there are any developers in chat, kiss to you. Thank you for that. Makes my job a lot easier.
I wonder if I should go free cam, actually. Since I'm just chasing after this today. Let's have a look. Oh, no. I can't, because I need to start the game with the controller on. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the more you know.
Are we gonna start soon?
Are we gonna start? That is the question on everyone's lips. These tiny little delays cause bigger delays later on. Sounds like orange team is ready.
We just need blue. And they are all the way up there, but they're boosting back.
Good and start, Tutorobot, who bought no less than 4 separate microphones last week to try and fix the audio problem with this computer. And turns out, it was just a driver issue. I just needed to download my drivers again. So that is going to be one heck of a returns procedure this week.
We are ready.
Teams are off. We are looking at the traditional non-PE launches from these teams. They haven't quite moved up. Oh no, I beg your pardon. It looks like blue team are going to go back and press the restart button. I actually thought that for a moment the wasted potential were going to go back and be like, ha. Let's do it. Let's
go all the way back, all the way from the room. That would be great.
What is it now, you boys?
What's the problem?
I don't know. Lewis said he needed.
Oh, we need a minute. Oh god, if they're just not getting burgers, should be fine.
Oh, yeah, Rabble, my voice quality can go up as much as I want, but my actual content quality will always remain.
Takes a long time.
Indeed. Okay, so they're going to be off with the traditional joust that we've seen before. There's not a lot of regrabbing happening over on next gen, but it will be Wasted Potential that are in the lead at the moment when it comes to possession. And they are, it's now next gen that I've managed to get clear, but not many orange people are stacking, which means it's going to be a free disc now. I've got to try and remember these team names for Wasted Potential, or WP, because that's easier to say. So yeah, a little bit of it was a slow back pass there. It was the right idea. I just don't think his teammate was quite ready for it. And the disc is going to float wild. We have not, I think we've seen the disc more in the air right now than we have in the hands of a player. Still, at the moment, free for whoever wants it. I think it's going to be a clear attempt over from Simon. And that was a very interesting misspelling of his name from Finity the other day. I won't repeat it. Again, a slight miss pass to Simon with a 3 as he goes over to collect the disc. And now it's up to them to make a nice build-up. It's a good pass over to Bowtie. He's going to pass back down to Simon. who is very calm, very, very slow, almost getting punched out. Intercepted by Felix, though. Nice little intercepted. It's not the perfect clear, but it doesn't need to be because it's lined up. He should be passing to Felix. He does pass to Felix, but Felix wasn't not quite ready for that, and that bounced away from him. That would have been a wonderful opportunity for a nice three-pointer then. Just at the moment, still building up. Dage with the... Oh, what a great save. I'm not sure who's in goal right then, but that was a fantastic save. Simon with the interception, the pace of this game, suddenly waking up a little bit as they go for the boost. The disc is free. If Swingley's going to get to it, looks like his arms are swinging though, and it's going to be Simon that gets punched out and leaves the disc open. Wow, this is actually starting to move around a little bit more, though I feel like the robots have found the disc, and at the moment it is Lewis, A-N-M-O, who goes for a pass down, I believe, to Simon, but didn't quite manage to make to him. But now Swingley's going to get punched by Lewis, and now it's going to be a build-up for the wasted potential, guys. It's a nice pass down to Lewis, and we get our first goal after a seemingly eternal amount of time for 2 points on the board.
Go on. Let's see that again. Just a Oh, that was a little bit late. But yeah, just a basic setup right at the end there. After a while, that was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You can see his stuns going out left and right, just everything happening. But no one really keeping the disc for any longer than a couple of seconds. A lot of missed passes will make sure that this will be a long round. So we have... Oh, that's wasted potential. Going for a very standard joust here. Nothing exciting. Unfortunately, they won't connect. And the boost back there was actually pretty fast. Pretty precise. They got back there very fast. And Dage will be there to grab the disc, send it back, maybe get it over to one of his teammates. One of his teammates will not be in the right position, so they won't be able to pick it up. Felix White and Swingley will, though, try and boost back. Maybe get it back. But no one's really holding on to it for any amount of time. Dage is just seeing if he can pass it down, get that clear in, but it will fail, as it has done for like quite a few times now. No one's really boosting, so this disc will just kind of float on. They will grab it though, and Simon will be in a great position to put it out, and he will for 2 points for that bounce shot. Really
so incidentally, last week I believe Next Gen, which is the team that obviously Wasted Potential are playing right now, were the only team that Wasted Potential were able to beat, and currently they are. So let's hope for them that they can be a cup where they'll take out another team maybe, and on the other side maybe it'll be a chance for Next Gen to actually take a win from them, and with only 4 points behind, it's very possible. So it's going to be a nice basic right hand joust. Pass down to Swingley, who holds it for a little too long, which means it's going to be a free disc up to whoever wants to be there first, which will be Simon. It's a pass down to the... I think it might have been an attempt... a pass back then, but it hit the block. Oh, that hits the shield in his own area, which means Felix is going to collect it in a dangerous area now. I think it might have been a pass up to Swingley then, but he wasn't quite ready for it. Dage passing up, but not managing to quite make it to him. It is very dangerous where it is right now. I think it was a very bad attempt at goal. That wasn't the time to do it. I think he should have gone for the pass, but he went for that instead. So now that the disc is going to be free in the tunnel, but it is still these Next Gen guys who do have the disc. And now Felix, if he doesn't get the pressure, he should be able to finish this one for 2 points. He does, which means we are now 2-4, which is a very close game in terms of time left. I think we got a minute and 10 and just 2 points between them.
I mean, it is very, like, it's very close, so to say, but the amount of time that's gone between these, like, guys scoring any goals, like, statistically, it's going to be a minute before we see another goal, and if that goal is not from Wasted Potential, they will have lost the first round, and it's going to be another round for them, where they might be able to take it back, but I don't know, I feel like they maybe need to warm up a little bit, because they are looking quite slow right now, although the pace has been picked up a little bit. A great joust coming out. Simon will end up with the disc very close to the goal. His teammate has been sent the disc, but he won't be able to pick it up as he gets punched out. And Felix will grab it back for Wasted Potential. We'll just clear it down. Really good clear compared to what we've seen before. And Swingley will be there, but Dage will grab the disc, sending it over to Felix White, and he will send it in after a punch to the goalie. Will ensure that this will be a 2-4. Jesus. A 2-4 scoring goal and a 4 points to both. So this could go either way now.
Here's my little,
No, this is a very close game at the moment. We are dealing with 4 and 4 now with 40 seconds. And again, like I said, this could be the chance for Next Gen to get, their first win off this team. And it could be a chance for these guys to say, look, hey, we beat these guys. This is what we do. Because they are new to this cup. We haven't seen them much. And it's going to be a right pass down to Simon, who hopefully is going to get rid of it a little earlier this time. He does. He manages to find Lewis, who's looking straight at the goal. And he almost got it, which would have been a nice 3-point for their team. The disc is still free at the moment, and Lewis puts it away, putting them now up again by 2 points. And with 23 seconds left on the clock, Next Gen are going to have to do it very quickly to bring it back.
Yeah, 23 seconds is not a lot of time. It isn't a lot of time for most teams, and especially not for these teams right now, because they need to do something else if they want to get a back. Waste of potential to have the joust advantage, though, so they have quite a bit of time and space and opportunity to work with. Let's see if they can actually make it work, though. Dage sending it for a quick joust over to Swingley. Swingley will send it on, but a block will be in the way, and it won't reach his target. Only 10 seconds left, and they need to do something fast if they want these last 2 points to send it to overtime. Maybe 3 points. And he will send it in. Unfortunately, it won't be in the right direction. It will get intercepted, sent away, and their dreams of winning round 1 has been dashed. As this round is now over, and we'll go into second round, of course.
Yeah, so first round goes to Wasted Potential. It was a very close game, so, there is a good possibility... A very good possibility that Next Gen can take the next round from them. But I think they're going to have to mix up a little bit if they're going to want to do something that's going to actually surprise the other team. Because at the moment, what we're seeing is, very kind of standardized kind of default QBing. I don't think I've seen either team do anything other than the left and the right. And I think in both instances, it's just QB'd over to the right. And that means the stack was ready for it, and both times Simon, got pressured.
There we go.
No, a Wasted Potential 1.
Yeah, I have my names run wrong. I'm sorry, I've been doing this quite a lot recently. It's not gone well. Sorry about that. But
I can't actually see those names. I wasn't watching the stream.
There we go.
So it's Lewis who's in possession right now. Simon can go and collect that if he wants to get there in time, which he does. Nice little pass down to Lewis, who doesn't actually able to catch that at the time. Means it's going to go down to Dage, who goes for a slap rather than a control. And that slap will end up in the hands of the guy, Nick, who is going to pass down to Lewis. There's a lot of pressure right now from that two-man stack, but Nick is in a good place to put the finish off, and he doesn't quite manage to do it. He manages to ding it instead. That's a shame. That was a very good chance, but he's going to set up again, going to Bowtie. Lewis thinks to himself, can I do it? He doesn't have time, so he ends up having to send a panicky pass back, but the pressure from Simon is too much on Felix, which means they are going to retain possession of this disc. It's a nice pass over down to Lewis, who's going to think about doing it one more time, but he's got a guy in a good place. Oh, and saved by Dage. Nice little save, nice little clear, nice little stack, but then he hits his head. This disc is bouncing for them at the moment, though. They can make something of that. But Dage is being a little bit smarter about it. I think he went for the backboard then. It's not working out for him. And we're still waiting for some points on the board due to some saves and some dings. And Simon is going to get rid of that disc now. Simon is going to clear that. And hopefully he's going to have his teammate pick it up as well. But it will not be his teammate. It will be Felix. And it will be a missed pass from Swingley, meaning that the disc is now free for Lewis, but he doesn't manage to get it away, which means Dage now has it, and he's going to go for the boot bounce. And is that one going in? No, it's denied by Nikolaj. How would you say that? Nikolaj?
Nikolaj.
I may still feel like I'm saying that wrong. Now, Simon has got himself an open goal and goes for it to get, once again, with 2 minutes into the game, 2 points on the board. That's a long time.
You're winning day.
They're very, I don't know if they're very good at saving these. We did say great save from Dage, but they're also not that good at really converting the goals, really like setting up and getting that disc in the right direction, which is of course towards the goal. So I feel like that's why it's taking so long, because it is a long time between these goals. 2 minutes is way more than we're used to seeing. Let's see if Dates can maybe fix that. Oh, sending that joust straight into the hands of Lewis, who will now have a more or less an open... No, not an open goal, but he will more or less have a lot of opportunities, sending it over to Simon. Fortunately for a little bit of a panic pass. Not really anything... Oh, God, Jesus Christ, this is going fast. Going for the shot, Dage will save it, but he will get punched out, so they'll have another opportunity, sending it down to Louis, who will go for the shot for 2 points, setting up now having a 4-point lead for Wasted Potential, which is their name. I fixed it now, sorry about that. But it's getting good.
Yeah, I feel like Next Gen need to work on their default positioning. Right now, it seems to be very kind of mix and match. They seem to basically be going for anything and everything. They don't seem to have any kind of like default disciplines that they stick to, and that's kind of causing them problems in their build-up, because they're passing to places that they don't have people on, or they see someone on it and then they miscommunicate between each other where they're going to stay. Dage holding onto the disc till the last minute, which works out for him because he's able to punch out one of the stack, and that means they cannot boost faster, sending only one guy back, and Felix will take the shot, meaning it's now going to be 2-4. This game is not away from Next Gen at the moment. It is still an open-ended game. When you consider that in the last game that they lost by only 2 points with 23 seconds left, again, it's very possible. I'm not ruling them out. Are you ruling them out?
I'm not. I'm never ruling anyone out. I like a underdog story. I really enjoy having that, and this is kind of what we're seeing here. But yeah, I agree. They're playing much more to their skill than to maybe a strategy that's boosted with skill. They maybe need to work on that, and then that could probably push them quite a bit up the rankings if they really practice for it, although that can be said for a lot of teams. Louis will unfortunately miss the disc, which means it will go to Felix, who will send it down to no one, but they might have an opportunity to boost it down, maybe get a shot in. They will get there, not first, but they will get the disc first, sending it straight into a dinging position, and Simon will grab it back, clearing it down. No one's really in any position to boost, so it will be Swingley and Felix it is who will get there first, but they won't grab the disc. Weirdly, they'll just set up for a defense and wait for the blue team to get back. Sending it up, Simon will get punched out, but Louis will be there to grab a disc. Sending it over, a great intercept by Swingley. Sending it down to Dage. Unfortunately, a lot of missed passes is making sure this is not going to either defense or the attack. We need to see a clear and boost for this to go the potential. Sorry, for this to go the way of the Next Gen. They need a couple more points, and they don't have that much more time to do it. Even if they... It is only 2 points ahead, but this could go either way now as Lewis just gets through the goal, gets the disc, and sends it in. I'm really surprised that wasn't there.
Massively punished for that missed back pass from Felix there. I think he went for a clear and boost. He had a man on his back ready to take him for a run, and he sent the disc back, almost going in goal by accident, and then just collected there and finished off by I think it was Lewis or Simon. I forget.
I think it was Lewis, yeah.
Either way, that one was really, that's gonna hurt them. That's gonna hurt them. But again, 1 minute 10 seconds, 4 points. That is nothing in Echo Arena time. Believe you me. Dage is gonna hold that disc until he finds that pressure. The pressure's not quite there, so he goes for the pass, which bounces away from him. And again, that is gonna be a very, very unfortunate bounce for Next Gen, as the disc is clear in their area and they need to be the first ones there. They are, and now they've got a chance for their own little clear and boost. Can they be there first? Will they do something with it? Nikolai going for the clear then, but I think it's going to be Simon that ends up with it, but the disc is still free under the goal. This is the time to strike. They need two two-pointers if they want to stay in this game or all over. And the interception from Lewis and the great clear afterwards has probably sealed the deal now, because I don't see them doing it with 20 seconds left, and the punch that just came in. Good pressure, good violence from Simon. This game is over. Maybe they can get a point or 2 or 3 or 9, or however the pointing system works in this game, I should know. But not for that team. It will be 2-6 in this round, meaning that once again, same as last week, it will be Wasted Potential that takes the 2-0 past Next Gen.
Good on them. GG. Good first round there. Not not the most insane high-level games. I think we saw a fair few mistakes, a lot of missed clears, a lot of missed boosts. But overall, we did also see really good save from Days there. I did not expect that to save.
There was a lot of good. I tell you what, there was a lot of really good pressure from the wasted potential guys, especially from Simon. Like his aggression on stacks and things like that was really good. You know, he was very physical, very quick, and very kind of tenacious in hunting them down, and that was really damaging for next gen, who did seem a little bit sluggish, a little bit lethargic, and that kind of ruined their game a little bit. But yeah, a lot of missed passes, just general basic things. They weren't even necessarily just having amazing shots taken against them and not being able to get the save off. They're just missing passes, and not by a little bit, by a huge amount. And sometimes missing a pass can be a bit bad, right? It'll continue going through and it'll bounce off something a little bit, and it's like, all right, this is not great. But when it bounces off something into your own area behind the goal, it might as well have been a clear towards the enemy. Like, it might as well have been a pass for them, because not only are you sending it into the area that's dangerous for your team, not only are you sending it there, but you're facing the wrong way. You're lined up to go towards their half, but the disc's behind you. It's catastrophic. And in the top games, between the top players, something like that, you're not going to see it happen often. I cannot remember the last time I saw a top player in a top game send the disc back into their own half, because that kind of thing, you'll do it once, and you will not let that happen again.
Yeah,
you just won't. It's soul crushing. Like, mistakes happen, they really do. But there's two types. There's two types of mistakes. There's a whole degree of mistakes and different levels. There's not quite grabbing the disc in time, getting punched out with a second to go, and then there's clearing the disc into the shield after you saving it and going in your own goal. And I don't know any tutorial bot that would do that.
No. Who would ever do such a thing? I wonder.
I was saying this to Niles earlier, that when I play, and I'm a casual player now, I have the highest save rate, there's more, to poor clear ratio of any player in Echo Arena. I must do. I genuinely don't think it's possible for me to have, or anyone else to have, a ratio of save to failure straight after the save than anyone else. All I do when I save it, right, is just waste a bit of time before the enemy ends up getting it back in again. It's like I'm just taking a little bit at a time out of the game to delay their goal, but really I'm giving it back. I'm giving it straight back to the community.
Yeah, just a couple of seconds off the clock. That can mean a lot, but only if you're ahead by like 10 points.
Let's have a look at the board to see how the scores are going with the rest of the team. Marietti's is getting that default win, as we mentioned before. Wasted Potential beating Next Gen 2-0, as we just saw for ourselves. The new Egg Boys 2-0 against Smash Dash. I don't think that is a shocking result necessarily, but we're yet to see Egg Boys, but we are gonna see them. And we are still waiting for the Team Gravity one-hit wonders, but I can only imagine that game's taking a long time because Gravity are collecting points to build up into a nice little pile. And the Polaris Ouroboros game might be a bit closer, but I predict Ouroboros will take that with a 2-0. But hey,
if they played like last week, they're definitely gonna, because that was really good. But we should, like, for anyone that doesn't know, Egg Boys, I think formerly known as a bunch of things.
Okay, so Egg Boys, let me explain this while we've got a few minutes, maybe. Egg Boys, in terms of the points and the rosters, are technically they are brain dead, lethargy, the Infinity Ravel Gecko. Right? If you look at the wins and the losses they have, that is the remind yourself of the make sure to listen to it when the players talk rule. The what? Drago, what? What does he mean by that? Remind yourself.
Oh no, he wants us to like shut up so we can hear the players talk.
Yeah.
We can do that sometimes,
right.
but
No,
I
we
can't
only
do it all
do
the
that
time.
when they're saying something juicy, right? Like we need to wait until there's some shit talk being thrown down.
I
We don't
really like
people
your
say
word
that.
choice there. Not funny, juicy.
Juicy. Like it can't just
Juicy.
be like, what do you eat for breakfast? I want to hear, screw you, you're a slimy cheetah gecko.
wanker.
Like, you know, that's
Just a
what I mean.
slimy
Anyway, so
oh.
Egg Boys in terms of roster in the actual point system are Lethargy and Braindead, but they are realistically, quite simply put, Lego was replaced by Gecko, and that is synergy with Gecko instead of Lego. Okay, now interesting, Gecko and Lego, they play quite similar in some ways. And in other ways, they are completely different. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. But I feel that both of them play a very good support role in their teams. And that, I think, will make
No, she didn't.
either of those two will fit well into that team because of that. Because that support role is huge. When you've got someone like Boop up front or you've got someone like Nillywick up front, being the feeder to that is more effective than just going, I'll be here and I'll shoot as well. Just pass it to me. Like season 1 was basically completely all about that, and most of season 2 as well was like, look, we've got almost every team had a really good striker and a slightly less good striker. Right? It was just how it was. But that slightly less good striker. Wow, how's my English? Slightly less good striker.
Slightly less good striker.
Slightly less good striker needs to accept that, as I finally did, that there's actually other things in this arena you should and could be doing. Right, taking out stacks and for a perfect example of this is Firetrax. Firetrax to me is the best support player in Echo Arena I've seen. I haven't analyzed and watched enough of the American teams to see who the equivalent is, but Firetrax's support that he does is fantastic. His stack jumping, his aggression and things like that is, is phenomenal.
Well, I can comfortably say he's the best support in the world. But then again, I don't know.
He is the Wonder Bra. Right, so we have got, it was Ouroboros that beat Polaris 2-0, and it was Team Gravity that beat One Hit Wonders. So we've got Ouroboros versus Team Gravity.
I've already messaged him.
What are we going for? Ouroboros and Gravity?
Versus Gravity, yeah.
Nice, you're way ahead of me. Did you message him yet?
I've messaged him. I'll just send him some invites.
Absolutely fantastic. Let me do it in the thing too. Let me do it in this one.
We have a fine channel for actually like coordination and stuff.
Yeah, if I can find it. I
think is that I don't know where I messaged him. Messaged him somewhere.
All right, throw Viatrax a polite little invite. He's usually good at reciprocating that as well.
Oh, he just got it straight back to me. Thank you, Viatrax. Always ready to please, and I really enjoy it. Ugh. So, going in here. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a good one. It's really interesting that we get these good games really. Oh, goddammit. Really quickly, usually. Very quickly.
It's an interesting one, Ouroboros. Because they're
There we go.
Oh, I need to go and speak. Hey, look, it's me. Sorry, I saw myself. I got excited. Ouroboros are one of those teams that you can never take your eye off. They just can win. They can take a round from you. They just can win. Their passing game is phenomenal, right? And that passing game means that they can cause problems for certain teams. They caused Synergy the most problems because Synergy had a very two-man pressure style in their kind of way of doing things, right? So you'd have Lego and Nillywick, and the problem with the short pass game against a two-man stack, or rather for the stack, the problem is that they're constantly chasing a small little distance. They don't get time to build up their speed. They don't get time to kind of hone in and really pressure that target before the disc is moved. And of course, the closer to the person who's thrown the disc away, the more problems you're going to have. And if you get punched out as a two-man stack, it's game over. If that guy is good and knows what he's doing, he'll just lay into you over and over again, and you've got massive, massive problems. So this is one of the reasons why their particular strategy didn't work very well against Ouroboros, but overall, the talent on the table meant that they did win. Synergy generally did beat them. But Gravity, they either wipe the floor with Ouroboros, or they end up getting a close game because of some of the passing and intercepting from Ouroboros. I think what Gravity are going to probably need to strategize to do, and I imagine they're going to work out today, is that the kind of old school clear and boost actually works very well against a team that are man marking and spread out. Because if you find a gap in that formation and you get a clear and boost through it, that's a huge problem for Ouroboros. And that's one of the reasons why when I played on Aftershock, we did quite well against Ouroboros most of the time, or Backlash back then. Almost always close games, but they almost always lost, was that we cleared and boost through their man marking. But Backlash, Gravity are very good passers these days. So they're kind of playing Ouroboros at their own game in that regard.
They're very good at everything. I was talking with Jesse about this yesterday. They've gotten that fire back that we talked about. They've gotten that like spirit of like, we need to win now because we've lost once. So
look at these PE jousts. It's all about the PE joust. It looks like Gravity's PE joust is going to be the one that takes the advantage today. And Boop goes for his new Boop shot straight away in there. And he manages to ding it as well. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to talk about this new bounce shot. But just when you thought you were safe to mark every single bouncy place in this game, Boop has found himself another one, and he immediately went for that. Sundance at the moment going for the build-up. He's going to try and find his guy. He finds a block instead, which means the disc is Boop's. If he can reach it before the stack does, he does. He manages to send it back, and the bounce will end up in Torren's hand, who's going to look for his guys that need to be in their famous Ouroboros formation, where they can spread out, fan out, and just find each other, as Sundance does find Torren, and he then finds Ambient, who's now moving up right now, thinking about whether they're going to go for the finish. It will be saved, though, and bounce straight back in. Again, another bounce off the shield, but this time the disc is free, thankfully, so Gravity are going to try and get there first, but can't quite reach it. Sundance can, as it's closer to him. He's thinking about the shot. He's not going to risk it. He's going to send it over to Torren instead, who is going to go for the pass back to Sundance, who's thinking about whether he's going to finish it, but he doesn't manage to do it because of the pressure, and the disc is sent free. But Ambient and Sundance have managed to get themselves down to it, which means Sundance can now find Torren, who is in a place. And it's an open goal and an open shot for 3 points against Team Gravity. That was incredible, incredible kind of saves there. It must have been Afentera. I mean, who else but Afentera?
That was Afentera. I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, that's like the casual just kind of standing up, then throwing your hands up at inhuman speeds and grabbing that disc that's more or less Afentera's thing. So that
I honestly think if I'm ever in a coma, I just need to have Boop play this game and it'll wake me up.
Yeah, he's been really, really fantastic at it lately. And goddamn, but they're going for a quick one here, sending it straight up, but Torren will be there to intercept the goal. That was going straight on in. They wanted to get those 3 points back, but they are unable to, as Torren will be there. But they're sending it down again, and 3 points will be theirs.
That was a punished. Ouroboros they worked hard, tooth and nail, to get their three-pointer, and Gravity just stole theirs back without much effort at all. The thing is, all of these guys on Gravity, they are passionate and effective passers, but the moment that goal is left open, the moment there is someone out of position, a little alarm goes off in their head, especially Boots. Honestly, he's in tune with it. And in this case, Afentel was like, it's open, I'm going for it. Nice build up. Two-man pressure at the moment from Gravity, who are going to go aggressive to the guy who has the disc, and it's Ambient at the moment who does have that disc. He's not feeling too much pressure, so he's going to feel comfortable moving forward, and he'll go for the finish. And I believe Avantera not in his absolute optimal position there. Couldn't quite reach that one, and Avantera is a long man, so if he can't reach it, you know he's not in the place where he wants to be.
Yeah. That was just a slight miscalculation on his part. I think he was also almost inside the goal. Although I've many a times looked at Avantera and thought that this is a bad position, and he just kind of gets it. So yep. I can't really analyze too much on him, but they will either way go back. Ooh, unfortunate. Avantera sends it straight into a block, and it will be picked up by Ouroboros. Sundance will send it back. They're going to slow play a little bit, just kind of make the time, set it up. Sending it over to Sundance. Sundance has the disc. No one really going too aggressive. They want to set up before they execute. It's probably a good idea. You can't just go for anything there, and it will fail that pass there. Viatrix will send it away. And we are going to see a boosting from Avantera, who will unfortunately miss it. And no one's really grabbing this disc for any length of time as Boop sends it down. Unfortunately, a misclear again. Avantera sending it straight into a block. This will go back to his teammate of Boop. Boop, who's in goal now. Sending it up to his teammate, Avantera. And this has just kind of been played in a lot in Gravity's half. They don't really seem to be in such a hurry that they need to get these points back because they are behind, but Torn will grab the disc, sending it straight up to, unfortunately for him, no one. Sundance will not be able to get there in time. Boop will grab the disc, sending it down. Maybe this clear will work. It will! That is not a clear. I think that was an attempted Boop shot, but either way, it won't go in. This will, though, as Avantera sends it in with his no-look shot and evening it out 5-5.
I'm just starting to get to terms with the fact that any clear is a potential Boop shot. You see, what Boop has basically devised is that if he's gonna clear it, why not make sure that every possible trajectory clear can also be a shot that if my team don't get there, and if the other team don't get there, it's gonna go in anyway. And that, I mean, is a pretty smart thing to do if you can do it. And it will be Ouroboros who has Sundance. He is the QB. High pressure from Avantera and high pressure on Ambient as well meant that they nearly lost the disc, but they didn't quite. So Torren is in possession of it right now. Very good marking at the front there from Gravity, meaning that he is forced to pass back to Sundance, who will find him again as he approaches the goal. He's thinking about finishing it. He does with a weird, swidey, whiny, roundy army thing.
Let's take a look at that again. That was an interesting shot.
Yeah, it's hard to predict to save that one. That would have been difficult to save. I can definitely see that. And Torren often dinging shots. They're often wide, so they either miss or they are difficult to save.
Yeah, and that one almost missed because that dinged right on the goal. So that was a spicy one, but it will put them up 2 points. Gravity is looking to get these points back, as we know they could. They're going for an efficient, very fast, sending it over, sending it up. This route is almost planned down to the point, but there will be some enemies in the way, and Torrent will manage to just throw a little bit of a cock into something. I don't know. That was a weird one. But Torrent grabs the disc, sends it down. Unfortunately, not the best clear in the world, but they will get there. Sending it out. Oh, a little bit of Geo is in the way, so that won't go in, but Torrent will have maybe an opportunity. He goes for the setup, which is probably a very, very good idea, as you don't just want to send it into Avantera. He'll just grab that disc and send it back. So they're going for a setup, waiting for a little bit. No one really pressuring that hard, so they will have some time. Torrent going back and forth, sending it to teammate on the back, and Sundance will just kind of put it in a really tough. Like that was a tough save, and now we are at 9-5, only 30 seconds left. That was good.
Yeah, it was a good build up there. And I think Boop had a Boop opportunity. Like he had Torrent floating, and it was just so close to this backboard that would have really put Gravity up 3 points. Torrent just managed to just reach it, which was kind of a make or break moment for this one round. Vitrex not able to get the disc or doing an awesome fake to Boop. I actually don't know, because these guys have got way more strats than my brain can ever comprehend. Vitrex sending it back not able to find Afintera. At the moment, you can just tell that they're like, okay, well, again, this round's over. Let's smash them out in the next two. Yeah, and why would you try hard for the end of a game that you know that you lost? Just mentally reset and just start again. Simple as that. So yeah, proof that Ouroboros can still cause the best team in Europe problems with their general passing and kind of play. They are a team that can either have a close game like this one or get stumped. Now, what Gravity could do to make me look really, really smart is now stomp them for 2 rounds to just show that I know so much about it that I completely predicted, like a complete showcase of what I mean. That is what should technically happen now.
Well, I think I said it at the start. I would both not be surprised if they, like, Ouroboros got a round and Ouroboros didn't get any rounds. But I don't think they're gonna get more than this one. It seems Gravity is just kind of, they're just like, nah, yep, this round's over. We're just gonna take the next 2. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be as easy as that. But we are going into it, so let's see what they can do.
These new PE jousts are off. It was Gravity that won it before, and it'll be Gravity that wins it this time again, but the disc will end up to the Ouroboros as Boop gets punched out. Sundance going for a pass down to Ambient, who's going to make a few little adjustments to his position to open up the pass. Tarn building up now. There's this triangle formation that the Ouroboros guys are often in. Ambient patiently waiting, but Afintera causing some problems. Oh, a missed shot from Torren then. That could have been a wonderful 3-pointer for Ouroboros. Viatrax right now with his support role. Boop with his shooting role. And that is the 3 points for Gravity instead. Wow, that was really, really good. I really like that. That was just classic. Hey, do me a favor, Via. Send that to Boop, would you? Oh, yeah. I'll make sure he gets the message. Cool. Here you go. Nice. Done.
Yeah,
textbook.
It all like watching this. It always looks so casual. Like, it's just that, as you said, like, just, send it down, I'll get it in for the mail flight, it's fine. And they just kind of make it happen, and then now 3 points ahead, only 30 seconds have passed, way better than the minute or something that went last time, so let's see if they can keep this momentum going. They're for sure, their double stack is just punching out anyone that comes in contact with them. We'll get up to Sundance, though, and they will have a little bit of time to set it up. Boop will be there. He will unfortunately be blocked, so he won't be able to get that stun in. And they're setting up the triangle formation. Sundance won't be able to grab the disc. He had stunned this out, and the clear has come out. A boost has come out, and let's see if Gravity can make the shot happen. It almost goes in, but Afintera is just a couple of degrees off. And it will be Torren that sends it down to his teammate of Sundance. Sundance has a little bit of time. He will get pressured though, so Ambient will end up with it, sending it down to Torren. Torren has an open goal, and he goes for the shot. 3 points. A lot of open goals in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of windows of 3-point opportunities going on right now between both these teams. And obviously Gravity are the favorites to convert those opportunities into 3-pointers. But we have had a miss, obviously, from Torren. That would have been a really important one early on. But that was then obviously put in by Boop. And we had a miss there from Afintera. That meant that then Ouroboros got a chance at theirs, and this time Torrent didn't miss. But misses are common, like especially when you don't have a lot of time. It's any sport, any game, a miss is gonna happen. Like, it's amazing. When I first watched football, when I saw Ronaldo, I was like, hang on, why is not every goal going in? And Boop is going to get the rebound off the wall for the build-up for Gravity right now. He's got 2 men. It is an interception from the goalie, Torren, on Ouroboros there, but Gravity are strong and fast to get back onto that disc, and it's a slight miss shot from Afintera, meaning that Sundance, I called him Slundance then, finds the disc, sends it back down to Ambient, who's going to throw it down to Torren, who is not even going to consider going for that open shot. He's going to wait for the rest of his Ouroboros to turn up. And this is, again, quite a close game at the moment. Ouroboros sticking to their kind of triangle formation. It's going to be a 1v1, and it's so hard to predict what Torren is doing. Just watching it then, I was in the right perspective as a goalie to kind of read where it's going. And it's just, it chops up and then it chops down, and it's like, where is that going? That is quite an unorthodox method that he's got. So it will be Ouroboros that take the lead at the moment, but 2 minutes 52 in Echo Arena time is like being on that one planet in that movie, like Interstellar.
I know what you mean, but That needed a little bit of work. Speaking of things that need a little bit of work, that pass was not the best in the world, but Aventel will grab it back. He will be pressured, so he will send it over to Boop, who will unfortunately not be in the correct position, and they will just miss it out. The disc is wild, but the boosting from Gravity will ensure that they will grab it back. And they now have a little bit of time to set up. They really want to get some points, but Ambient will make sure that doesn't happen. Passing it straight on down. Not going for the boop shots all the time, but then again, there's only one person that can really do that. Torn just missing out the disc. Boop sending it down away from anyone, but Ambient will be there to take it back. And now we just see Ouroboros setting up again, and if they get any more points than this, it's gonna be looking very, very good for them. They might even be able to take the game, but Ambient will grab it. He will send it straight into the hands of Viatrex, who will take the disc away.
Bit of a missed pass and clear from Viatrex, but they are still in possession of the disc. Afentera collectively finding Viatrex, who's going to go for it again. He gets it off, which means it can be a free disc for Gravity, but it doesn't look like either team. Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
What a bounce! What a bounce! Now, if that had been Boop, I would have been like, that was deliberate, but I don't think even Viatrex would have said it was. But it doesn't matter. If the goal is open for that long, neither team there stacked for it. I watched the map, and I just watched 3 on either side just floating towards it like a flock of birds. And with all that time that was bought, the disc just floated into the goal. It was like, I've got this.
That was the luck of the century there that went in, and they really needed those points. So it's good that they got them. But Torn, will be there in a 1v1 position. He will just get drive-by punched by the double stack, and they will clear it down, going for the double stack very fast. And the disc is now wild down in Orange's half, and it now has a great opportunity for Viatrex to get some 3-pointers for himself. And he will.
Great job. Viatrex at the moment is MVPing the hell out of this game. So, notable moment at the moment as well is notable moment at the moment, in the moment, for the moment, was when the setup was perfectly aligned for Ouroboros to score. The shot was off. I don't think Afentera had it, and boom, Viatrex floated across the goal and actually collected it himself. And then through lots of means of very strange bounces, ended up getting the shot off and scoring anyway.
So, Sundance will send it over to Ambient. Now, they need a couple of points here. They need at least 4. Oh, that will float straight past his teammate. And Boop now has an open goal. If he goes for the shot, he will. But Ambient will be there to intercept just in time. Sending it over to Torn. Torn now sending it back. And they are holding on for dear life now. They're not having the comfortable lead they had before. They now need at least 2 goals to get this even. And they are looking for them, but the boosting from Gravity is just, it's there when it needs to be, and it really is just, it's a wonder to see. And now they're just kind of slow playing, not really looking to make anything insane happen. Of course, as I say that, he goes for the shot that will unfortunately miss, but there will be Boop there to send it in again, but Turn will be also there. And he will grab it back, but anything that's happening from Ouroboros is just being countered by Gravity. And Boop now has a 1v1, and he will just send it up for 2 points.
For every close missed shot, there is a very good pass. I worked that out when I was on Aftershock, and every time Slim would take a shot and it was just missing a little bit, that baby was coming straight back for me. And if you time it right and expect to miss, if you always expect to miss, you can find yourself collecting a lot of those. So it will be Gravity that actually take this round from Ouroboros, which means we are going to have a 2-1 situation with one of these teams. And neither of these teams are going to take a 2-0 over each other, but both games have been relatively close, with some very, very defining moments. Very defining moments. Mostly, I think Viatrex on that last game with a lot of defining moments, not even including the bounce. And it will be the Boros who get it first, but Boop has got it, and that is not the guy you want to have it, because he will collect that and make that a 3, and that's exactly what he does, which is an early 3-pointer in this definitive 3rd round to Gravity. I think it was just a missed pass there from Ouroboros, and again, you just want to just close your eyes and be like, don't be Boop in the tunnel. Don't be Boop in the tunnel. It's Boop in the tunnel.
Yeah, if he gets that disc, it's just, yeah, it's weird when you're in a position where you sort of in the opening joust want to have a goalie. That's a weird one because Boop will be there and he will take the shot and, well, I mean, that's a 3-pointer for you. So that is unfortunate for Ouroboros, but they will be looking to maybe get some points back since they do want to grab this game. Although it's looking quite unlikely as Gravity has really awoken and are doing their best to maybe stop them, but it won't be for now as they get 2 points. 18 meters per second. That's a hell of a shot from Sundance.
Sundance has been very, very strong recently. I think he's a lot of people have kind of pointed him out as being a bit of an underappreciated player, and he's joined us in a couple of mixed recently, and we've kind of looked at him, and yeah, he's very, very strong player, very strong. He keeps his head down, and therefore you don't always see it. But yeah, his general game sense is very strong as well. But it is still a 1-point lead for the Gravity Boys as they go for the QB down to Boop, who finds Viratrex for their well-rehearsed setup. So a nice pass back down to Boop. A lovely pass back to Affentera. It is going exactly as planned at the moment. And he is going to take complete control, keeping a hand on the surface. Again, finds Viratrex exactly where he needs to. Boop, again, waiting. But Viratrex is like, well, come at me. Why should I push you? All right, I know what you guys want. And Boop will do the Ouroboros against the team themselves by sitting behind the goal and putting that away. And that just goes to show if you cannot get to that guy behind the goal before he gets there, it's very hard to do anything with. And Boop's reaction speeds are incredible. He doesn't need to joke. He'll just go fast. But yeah, that was very smart play then. Gravity were like, well, I know what you guys are doing. You're all marking. Why am I going to push forward? You come to me. We've got the point. Yeah, we've got pole position. We're in front. Push me. They did. And they did exactly what they wanted.
It was a good little read and a good little execution there, which means they will be ahead by at least 3 points. But this might go in, although it's not a Boop shot. It is just a missed clear, as we usually see them. Although in this game we can't ever be too sure. Now Viratrex will grab the disc. There's 3 people marking his teammates, so he won't be... yeah, probably wisely just to send it down, even though they will get possession. You don't want to send it straight into them when they are in your half. So clear will go down again. Boop will be there. He's been a lot in the defensive position lately, and that is good for them as he can grab the disc when it gets down in the danger zone, as Kenny Loggins would say, and he would be pleased that it is now out of the danger zone as Boop sends it down. Jesus Christ, just the shots that are going off are really fantastic, and Affentera will grab the disc, sending it in. This is looking more like a Gravity versus insert team name game here.
Yeah, Ouroboros are really going to have to pull out the stops if they're going to want to return this game to the kind of them taking over for a portion of it. They haven't had the lead on this game since... they haven't had the lead on this game at all. In fact, it started off with a Gravity 3-pointer. And as I've mentioned 100 times before, Ouroboros are not the team that make comebacks. So they are going to... or at least they haven't shown it yet. So let's see if that is going to be changed. But it won't be now because Viratrex will get the interception. He won't get the shot, but that will become something for Affentera, who takes it quite casually. And it will be Torren that finds the disc and goes for a clear of his own, meaning Viratrex is in possession of it now. Boop setting up in the left tunnel. The Ouroboros guys coming out like a swarm at the moment to try and get away, but Affentera will get another shot at it. This time it'll be a ding. Very close, very dangerous. Torren is going to need to get back in there, but Boop is in the position to strike. But why? He's winning. He's going to go back instead. He's going to slow it down. This is smart play from Gravity right now as they are taking full control of this situation by having their own form of slow play. It was a very creative attempt at goal there by Affentera. Hard to read, but it didn't work out for him nonetheless. And it will be some clearing from Ouroboros, not something they're particularly accustomed to. And they are doing that right now, and it will be Boop that still has the control. Affentera in possession, thinking about that shot, goes for a different one instead, goes for the bounce under the shot, slightly misaligned to the left, will be collected by Ouroboros. But with 2 minutes left, Ouroboros are still chasing the disc, constantly chasing the disc. Getting punched out and chasing the disc. It's a missed slap clear, not the one that Ouroboros had hoped for, which means Boop will have a nice little bounce actually. Viratrex will be able to find that. He's got ambient on his tail. The disc goes free there. Torren not quite able to intercept that. It'll be a little fight and a little steal and an almost shot. A great shot attempt, but does end up dinging. The disc is still in a dangerous place, an open goal now, and that one will be put away for 3 points. And this game has just gone a huge mile away from Ouroboros. There was a flavor of these games where Ouroboros, I'm sure, we're feeling like, hey, this is going to be the day we beat Gravity. But at the moment, it's going to be the day they took a round from Gravity, because as usual, Gravity are like that Obi-Wan guy, you strike me down now, I'll come back harder. They always do this. They are becoming the season 1 Eclipse in terms of getting punished and returning.
They did fantastically. They were like 3 points ahead in the second round after having won the first, so they were quite close, but yeah, Gravity is just saying, no, we are still the best, and they are showing it as their boosts are just fantastic. Their clears are doing really well. Not all of them are shots, but they don't have to be, and Aventura will be in the right place at the right time, sending it down to his teammate of Viatrex. We'll have now a little bit of time. He will send it up to Boop, and Boop has an open shot. Unfortunately, that's a miss. Not that they really need the points, but they're going for it again. Boop will just let that disc sail straight past him. And this will be an opportunity for Ouroboros as they clear and boost. They have an open goal. They're going for the shot, and they get the 3 points. A long time since they've gotten anything of a score in this round, but they will end it off at least. Well, I say end it off. There's still a minute left. And they will get some points for themselves.
Still time. Again, Ouroboros are not the team that tends to pick it up. And it was interesting a moment ago. Ambient had a mail slot shot opportunity for a good 4 seconds, and he didn't even have his eyes on it. He was just completely like, who have I got to pass, but that could have been an opportunity for an earlier set of 3 points. It just goes to show that the Ouroboros are not looking for those windows of shooting like some of these other teams. It's a very fast, very accurate shot past QB. One of the things down to Boop, and it will be bounced back to Viatrex for a very relaxed finish there. I was cycling through every single Echo Arena word in the tunnel until I eventually got to the right one. And it was Viatrex that did get to the right one, because he puts it in for a huge 3 points up. I mean, this is what I mean. Ouroboros grinding, fighting, and they're getting their 3 points and feeling good about it. And then Gravity are like, well, you know what? Boom. Tunnel, backboard, catch, score.
Yeah, Ouroboros is really fighting just teeth and nail for any amount of points. And it seems a very casual game still for Gravity, even though they lose a round. They were just kind of, we'll get some points. It's fine. Now, we do see maybe an opportunity here for Ouroboros, as they have gotten quite a bit up these half, and they do get a 3-pointer. That did not look like a 3-pointer, but they will get some points.
With Torrent's frame rate, it will never look like anything, because it's like his arm is like a sketchbook, where the artist that drew the cartoon only bothered to draw 5 motions, or 3 sometimes. But yeah, so that was a very well-placed 90-meter-a-second shot. Would have been quite difficult. But I can see Gravity around now. They're pointing, they're suggesting. These guys have got an idea. And let's see what that idea is going to be. Is it going to be something that we've seen before, or is it going to be something different? So, to pass down to Viatrex, I think that they went for a bounce pass down to Boop maybe, but it didn't bounce quite exactly how they wanted it. It will be a clear disc for Torrent, who's going to think about maybe getting himself a 3-pointer. He's going to have to do something very fast and very quick if he's going to do that. It was Ambient that actually went for the punch on Aventura. Aventura isn't the one in goal at the moment, though. It is Viatrex who gets the push away as well to go, hey, look, I can be goalie. And it will be a 2-1 to Gravity. And that was actually, again, one of the reasons why we watched this game, because I've said before, Ouroboros can be quite a difficult team. Even if you are better than them on paper, their setups can be very, very punishing. And, Gravity felt a bit in that. But, Gravity are also one of those teams that they like a bit of warm-up. They like to, sort of deal with it that way. So, the results at the moment are Smash Dash with the default win. Egg Boys got the 2-0 against Wasted Potential. The Mariachis got the 2-0 against Next Gen. The Ouroboros lost 2-1 to Gravity, as we just saw. Now we're waiting for the Polaris and One Hit Wonder guys to finish up.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really decent game, but yeah, Ouroboros were fighting and just clawing at every opportunity. What it looked like Gravity was just kind of, they were there. They got the points they needed, and then they just kind of played and took time, and then like thought about what was happening and thought, we don't need to push here. Like Viatrix just holding onto the block, like, I don't need to push right now. I just kind of need to get my guys set up, and then we'll go for it. We don't need to go for anything panic. We need to just make this happen. So
yeah, I mean,
good on them.
Ouroboros guys, they're very consistent with their passing. They don't often screw up their passing. Sometimes they screw up their shooting, which can punish them. But they're looking. The problem is that their window of is there a goal open, especially from Ambient and Torrent, isn't as effective as Gravity. Sundance actually has got a very keen eye. I've noticed that whenever that goal is open for a while and Sundance is in possession, he'll punish for it. He's very good at doing that. Gravity didn't play as good as they definitely can, but they genuinely. I mean, I find with Gravity they tend to be a bit of a warm up team. They tend to perform worse in their first game and then build up to it later and later on. All right, it does seem to be that way for them. You know, they go for top speed rather than acceleration, and that means if they have a tough lineup in the first rounds, it can be close games and they can lose rounds. And you know, I'm not trying to take anything away from Ouroboros here. They did very well. You know, they got a couple of very decisive moments, but Gravity definitely seem to have the most tricks that they pull out of the bag. And whilst Ouroboros kind of work on this one or two thing that works very, very well, Gravity is still, believe it or not, although we know that name and we know the players, they're still quite a fresh team in terms of their strategies and their practice and their overall chemistry. They're still quite an early team. I mean, they're not brand new, but they're still quite an early team. And I know this is a very short season. There's not much time to do that kind of thing.
That really is.
You could say, Jersey, that they're a well-established team. You could say, but I'd rather say that for a team that have formulated very recently.
Yeah, someone like Egg Boys are a well-established team.
Well, the thing is, I think Egg Boys are going to hit the ground running a little bit more. Only in the sense that you know, Nillywick and Matty have already played together quite a bit. But I wouldn't say I don't think hit the ground running is the fair thing to say. I would say that I predict Egg Boys are going to hit the ground at a slightly elevated pace. Like a kind of, you know, that fast paced walking that you see old ladies do, you know, to try and keep their bones from snapping off as they, you know, that kind of,
with
I wish
the
you could see me
canes
right
and
now.
stuff.
I'm actually doing it. I'm doing the walk. Okay. There's that kind of, you know, where they bring their whole body into it and things like that, you know.
They hit the ground power walking. That's a good term.
You know, Malaran, you're an amazing human being. You're a poet. They hit the ground power walking. I will also take brisk walking. Why do all of you have the perfect example except for me? I'm like, you know that walkie thing where you walkie a little bit more than you walkie, and you're all like, yeah, there's like 17 different things that's called, and each one of them is
would you
coming
consider
up
this
with
one?
All right, I'm not a thesaurus, okay? I'm sorry. I'll make sure I come up with. Anyway, the point is, light jog, brisk walk, whatever you want to call it.
I'm not a thesaurus. Sorry about 2019.
I expect to see good things from Egg Boys today because they are all very, very good players. They are indeed, and in their own role, they're very well. I'm very excited to see the match, especially between Gravity and Egg Boys today, because it could go either way.
It could, and they're probably gonna fight maybe even next round.
Possibly, and we'll be jumping all over that if that's the case. You know, the debate as to whether they're going to be a stronger team than when Lego was on it is really up to interpretation. And of course, you have to factor in, does that mean initially now because we haven't had a chance to play? Because of course, Lego and Nillywick, they've been playing together as a two for a long time, even before they got a hold of Matty. So you know, there's a huge. You have to factor that in as well. You can't expect a new player to join a squad and be like, boom, let's be as good. But yeah, I
gotta get that chemistry.
I think they could be. When Gecko has respect for everyone on his team as equals to him, he is absolutely formidable as a support player. Like he really is. Like there's he will find you. He will Liam Nielsen. He will find you. He will pass you.
He will pass to you.
And he will score at 19 meters a second.
That's a hell of a yeah. I'll pass to you, but you have to fucking score 19 meters per second. I won't accept anything else.
You know what upsets me about Echo Arena is that when I throw like a lumberjack trying to chop down a tree. Okay, my brain has never been able to figure out that speed equates to bad things in this game because of sensors and not keeping up and 12 meter a second, whatever. All right. So and I have a very short. I was going to say I have a very short arm. That sounds a bit strange. I have short arms, all right? Not a short arm. I have short arms, right? And so when I whip my disc really fast, like I'm basically like one of those little shrimps that punch their little claw out really fast, all right? It's just a snap, and my sensors are like, no chance. I'm not even going to begin to translate that. So I end up shooting quite slow often. And when I slow it down into a long kind of, like I'm kind of throwing it through water, it goes 80 meters a second. But I never, ever remember to do that. I see the goal, I go, snap. And it just dribbles towards the goal at 14 meters a second.
I can't. Oh, that's really annoying me because that shrimp is. It's called something, but it's an amazing animal.
Everyone should know this. The last time I got something I was a little bit fuzzy about something, everyone was like,
it's like the snapping shrimp or the gun shrimp or something like that.
It's called like the gun shrimp. Let me call it. If I type in gun shrimp, something's going to come up.
Well, it's like
pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp. There we go.
Yeah.
Almost
the
a gun shrimp.
By the way, will stun its prey by basically cocking back a giant well, it's not massive, but a claw, and then go pew, and smashing it forward. And it can actually break glasses. Like if you put it in a jar, it can break out of it by doing that.
It creates a sort of fusion, like making a vacuum. It's really an insane animal.
When you consider he has to punch underwater as well.
Yeah.
Take in imagine that bad boy in a boxing ring without water. Woo!
I mean, it's a shrimp.
Dead. It can't breathe. Yeah, it would just be a boxing ring with a dead shrimp in the middle of it, and it'd be a bit.
Kind of an anticlimactic fight. I don't want to travel to Vegas to see that.
I would love to go into like bubblegum shrimp and be like, have you got any pistol shrimp? I feel like something that can really kick today. You know, something with a bit of a punch.
Something with just like a bit of punching to my food. Yeah. This is quality content. I know. Well, we're just waiting for Polaris versus One Hit Wonders to finish up, and then we'll go into our third round. They still haven't finished up yet. She'll get more talks about pistol shrimp or other things. I don't know.
Rocta, just admit that if you could have a pistol shrimp at bubblegum, you'd do it. You would. You would eat a pistol shrimp if it was dead. Otherwise, that's gonna hurt. I don't think anyone here can say that they wouldn't.
I kind of would. I'd love to eat something that can go faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Be a hell of an icebreaker.
I don't know what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten. Please keep it to actual foods.
Cow's tongue.
Okay. Yeah,
tastes wonderful, and I almost threw up when they said what it was.
Interesting. I'm not really squeamish like that. I think the weirdest thing I had was an oven-baked tarantula. I was going through this weird phase in my teens where I was eating edible insects because they're really high in protein, very low in fat and carb. Technically, like if we weren't so squeamish and we were a little bit more like Timon and Pumbaa, we should be eating insects and bugs all the time. We really should. But I went through this huge phase and I built up to this bad boy. Okay, and I ate a small chocolate covered scorpion, and this was nice. It was quite nutty, and then I went straight to oven-baked tarantula. Now, the legs were fine, crunchy, a little bit like chicken. There's a lot of very bland meats are, the main body. I had to take the fangs out, which were a good 3 centimeters long, all right?
Jesus.
Or inch or whatever. And the abdomen was the problem. Now, this big back part of the tarantula crumbled like soil, left like a smudge in your mouth, like melted chocolate, and tasted like rotten feet. It's indescribable. Absolutely indescribable. I couldn't begin to tell you what this tasted like.
It was horrible.
Let's just say a Tutorobot didn't eat an insect. I think even Timon would have been like, Pumbaa, put that away. Like it was just.
Yeah, but let's not.
It was.
Today, just let's not.
Well,
But
you're
yeah,
not-
I really do want to eat insects because they seem like a fantastic just a fantastic source of food. Really want to, and it's apparently it's like I say a part of my history. It's not at all, but like my mom, when she was 5 to 7 years old, I think they lived in Africa when my grandmother was teaching like African kids.
That's cool.
So they ate like insects and like that's just that's what they ate. So I've been like, oh, I kind of want to figure out what the hell this is.
The one I can't bring myself to go for. See, to me, a tarantula was cool because it's like a crunchy thing, and crunchy is good for me. I love snacks, right? But it's called I think it's a rhino beetle larvae, and it's basically it's like a maggot the size of a Snickers bar.
That sounds fantastic.
And you have to it's got like a chewy kind of thing, and then it just explodes into like a kind of yogurt. Finity, no, do not eat the big. Do not do it. Do not. Just go and take a big handful of regular maggots if you really want to. But oh my goodness, I don't condone eating live insects. All right,
Yeah,
I don't care if it's an ant. I don't care if it's a flea. Or for me, it's no different than grabbing a pigeon and ripping its head off. Like you, just killing something with your teeth. I don't like it. There used to be a show, I think it's still on, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and they used to do these Bush Tucker trials. And this woman, she had this giant water spider in her mouth and just crunched it to death. And I'm like, come on, I know it's nature and all that, but like, really, if you got to do that, it seems
Do it
unnecessary.
a little bit humanely. Like they are insects, but they still feel pain. Like.
I had a huge dilemma the other day. I was in a supermarket and there was 2 chickens dead. They weren't just like.
Right? I was like to say that's a hell of a story.
There, right? And one was like this pale-looking chicken of the same weight as the other one that was like caged from a caged chicken. Okay, and it was like £2.86. And then conversely, there was a grain-fed what's it called? Where they're free range, right? Where they're able to run around and have life and stuff like that. And it was £8 something, right? And it just looked way healthier and stuff. But I was like, do I want to contribute to the industry where these chickens are caged, or am I going to go for this bad boy over here, which is no less than 4 times more expensive? And I did. I went for the expensive one, and I didn't want to because it's expensive. But like,
it's expensive, yeah. It
you
tastes
have to
better
think
though.
about it. A caged chicken, that's not worth eating meat for, in my opinion.
It was horrible.
You
are
don't
we
have to
there?
listen to my stupid stories anymore. The mariachis
Yes.
did beat Next Gen 2-0. Malaran, overjoyed. We've got a Team Gravity versus Polaris game coming up. A one-hit wonders versus Waste Potential. Smash Dash versus Ouroboros. And Egg Boys versus the Mariachis. And Next Gen with the default win. So it's going to be Smash Dash versus Ouroboros. It just has to be.
Right. Well, I mean, we're in the game. I don't think they're gonna. I hope they're not gonna switch servers. But either way, we are in here, so we should be good to just go. So, yeah,
right.
Eco. Sorry about that, but the games just first came up now, so that was why we were just kind of talking shit for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you prefer, if the community would like us to stop talking altogether and just not say anything and maybe play some classical music in the background. I just read Free Range Maggots.
Oh, God.
Fantastic. Zedro, can you imagine that? Be like, yeah, I'm going fishing and I need some maggots, but I need to make sure that they had a field of cows to eat the feces from. You know, so do you stock free range maggots? We want to make sure they had the nicest rotten flesh to consume. Yeah, I can imagine.
Exactly. We do want them to have had a good life before we crush them.
Yes. I mean, I can provide some elevator music if you like, Vinny.
You gotta go for Girl from Ipanema.
You know what's interesting? United Kingdom, we don't have elevator music.
We don't either in Denmark. I think it's just
so
an
weird.
American thing.
Like I get why there's music though. You walk into an elevator with a stranger, there's a little bit of like music going on. It's very nice. You walk into an elevator with a British person, it's just like. And English people, they're not like morning. They're just gonna sit there in absolute silence. An American guy would be like, "Hey, hell of weather outside today." Also, they say out. They'll be like, you know, all boisterous and happy and stuff. But English people, they'll just be like, "Grr." Don't look at me.
You know what you do, and I've done this once, and it was quite fun. You go in and you are like, if I've only done one of them, but you go in, if there's only one person, you say to them, we can't keep meeting like this, people will know. And if there's multiple people, you say, I bet you're all wondering why I've gathered you here today. And I've only done the second one, and it's way more fun. Because people are horrified that I'm about to kill them. And then I just go off on something. I just say random, like, you know. I think I was talking to them about free-range chicken, and they were just... You could see it in their eyes. They were, like, horrified, and then weirded out, and then kind of laughed about it. It's really fun to do.
Guy, you can't do that.
What?
You can't do that. If I can do that. I'm young and small. Like, I could... Well, I'm young-looking and small. I'm definitely not young. If I do it, they'll be like, oh, have you lost your mom? But you do. You don't actually scare someone. They might
I'm not a scary guy. I look kind of like a cartoon character.
Well, it depends what kind of cartoon character. I mean, like,
that's true.
Are we talking Simpsons? Because that would be scary. I met someone. I think everyone in the Simpsons suffers from jaundice, by the way. They appear to be leaving the arena, which means they are trying to correct. They're trying to correct Sendo's ping. So we are going to chase them, Malarin.
Aha!
I want to know your face. If you want to see my disgusting face, follow me on Twitter. I am Tutorialbot. I updated it.
Oh, there we go. They have invited us. Fantastic. Oh, they're probably just going for a different ping or something.
Smash Dash is so gonna look all awkward. I'm only kidding, guys. Have a good game.
Have a good game.
Do it.
There we go. Ow! God! Damn it! Just.
So, interesting thing.
Ouch.
The last time Ouroboros and Smash Dash had themselves a game, it came down to a tiebreaker between Ouroboros and Smash Dash, which was in our casted midweek madness. And Smash Dash, not being the favourites, beat Ouroboros 2-0. Yes, that is my real face. I'm not ripped. I'm ripped in my... the story of my body is that I once went to a gym, and then I followed up those gym sessions with copious amounts of takeaway food. So I'm quite padded these days, but I'm working on it. I'm doing all kinds of crazy ketogenic things and no carbs and all sorts of stuff to get rid of the squidgy parts that I'm not so happy about. But that photo was taken just before me and Viatrax had an arm wrestle, and he won the arm wrestle only slightly. Now he is a ripped guy, so at least give me some credit, and does go to the gym. But it was very back and back. I nearly won, as everyone that loses says. And both of us injured ourselves for the remainder of the tournament. Right, which you can see in the rest of the LAN tournament. I actually have got a support thing on my arm. And we were both taking medication for the rest of the next 2 days.
God.
And
damn. Jesus Christ, man. Well, speaking of injuring yourself, our game is going. I don't know. Don't at me. But we are going here with our initial joust. We're seeing the PE joust from Smash Dash, but it will be Ouroboros that gets there first, sending it straight over to his teammate of Torrent, and Torrent will send it back. Not going for the 1v1, but just going for the setup as they usually do. We've seen this a lot from Ouroboros. It is to be expected, sending it up to Torrent. Torrent will send it straight in. Wow.
Well, we get a touch on that though, and actually turned it into a self-goal.
Oh, a self-goal.
Can we get R2 back? Can't take him seriously with his normal voice. Who's R2? What?
Actually, like a small
I don't know.
Just got it and then...
Do you mean R2D2?
R2D2. Sorry.
I am Tutorialbot.
Oh, God.
You should have never done that to me. You ruined my life.
I am Demon Orking.
See? Okay, so Smash Dash, who are no longer the complete unfavorites, but are very strong Ouroboros again. Oh! Almost taken there. Almost taken there. Jorgen was very lucky, and it is a shot on goal by Sia for a 3-pointer early on in the game, putting them a point up ahead of Ouroboros now. And Ouroboros are going to want to beat Smash Dash to say that, okay, midweek it was a bit of a fluke. And something very interesting happened. Sundance kind of had a little bit of an ego moment, as the best of us do, and he said that 90% of there's a 90% chance we're going to win both these games, including Smash Dash, and then they lost it 2-0. So having eaten his words, I imagine this time he's going to want to make sure that they do win this game.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he will do with this, because that's a hell of a percentage point to grab out, if you know what I mean. So Torn will end up with the disc. Again, going for a little bit of a slow play, although they have plenty of time. They are still behind by 1 point, so they do need to convert this into a goal. Sending it over to Ambient. Ambient will just send it in, not going for his teammate, but going for the goal instead, and it will be successful. Putting it up by 1 point.
Jorgen kind of moving his position up a little bit then to try and close the top gap. But I've noticed if you do that and you don't have the intention to close the gap immediately again as a kind of bait, you're just increasing the window. And if you're gonna bait, the hardest place for you to then end up getting back down to again is underneath you. And that's what he kind of did. He kind of raised up and then had to try and jump down, but he didn't even get a chance to. So Smash Dash going with the, Ouroboros, sorry, going with the PE Joust. It's a slight miss QB, but Sia will be the one that does get hands on it again. Sendo looking for Sia again, who is there. It might be a 3-point opportunity. It's way too high, and Torren, he's going to collect that anyway. I think he's favoring his floating right now, which did do well. Sia with some good pressure on Ambient, meaning that it is going to be Jorgen that goes for the shot, but Torren is going to collect it. I think that was might have been dinging anyway, and now it looks like Sundance. He's going to find, you can't say who it is. It is Ambient.
Ambient, yeah.
He's going to find Ambient eventually, and tries to go for Torren, who is in that dangerous position behind goal. Thankfully, it doesn't work out for them, or that would have probably been a guarantee too. Sundance finding Torren and pushes it back to Ambient. Ambient under the goal, finding Torren again for that overarm shot that he does. But didn't go as high as it usually does. And now it is 6 to Ouroboros and 3 to Smash Dash.
That is such a difficult shot both to read but also to do. Because when you have such a high, angular momentum, I think it's called, there's so much opportunity for it to go wrong. And it's just down to practice. If you practice it long enough, you will be able to do it, but it's still very, very tough to do. So it's interesting to see him do it, interesting to see when it fails, but also when it works. And that's just, they have been doing this PE jab where they just go for the QB every single time, but it won't work as Sendo target grabs the disc.
Amazing. When you're 3 points behind in a situation like this, just getting a 3-point back is really, really important. And what's also important there is the Sendo, his shot. I mean, whenever you take those kind of shots and it's open, you're always going to aim for the middle unless you're really talented. But because it was low, should someone have gotten back in time, it would have been a very difficult disc to then have to save. Like if they'd have gotten back, grabbed the block, turn around, and then jump down, that would have been very hard to do.
Yeah. So it will be Ouroboros that goes for the QB this time. Ambient sending it straight into a block, unfortunately, so it will bounce out towards the goal.
Oh,
and Torren will just be there to hand it in.
Torren had a little bit of knowledge there about where the goal was, and he did something a little unorthodox. He went for a little tap, and that would never work against someone who wasn't racing him for it. Because there was a race and he was being pushed by the goalie, that little tap was all he needed to put the disc past the goalkeeper then. I think that would have been an annoying one to feel conceded against. But this is getting very close. It's very interesting because I don't think the matches between Smash Dash and Gravity are particularly close, and it just goes to show that there's a kind of configuration thing between these teams, that certain things that certain teams do work better against certain teams. Sendo target right now, going with a pass back to One Job Jorgen, who finds Sendo in the tunnel. Some slow pressure being built up by Ouroboros right now. And see, he's got himself another open goal, but this one will ding and will be collected by... Oh, my goodness, what is going on? That bounce looked like it could have done some bad... What? Okay, that was very confusing. And now Jorgen has got the disc. Sendo is going to go for a pass down to Jorgen, who just collectively puts it back. Now it is 8-8. That was a bit of a moment there for me, because that bounce came off on the inside. I couldn't tell if it came off the wall or if it was off a player, and then it got misgrabbed by someone else and almost bounced back into them.
That was so close. We got to see it really close. It looked like it just went in, but it was just above. Like, that was 1 degree off of going completely wrong. But in the end, it also went kind of wrong, as they did get scored on. We're going for a very, very fast joust here. It will not, unfortunately, work as they should do. But maybe Torin can pull it back, and he can for 3 points. Very, very efficient. Can't really see how much time was passed, but not enough. 8 seconds. That's really fast. That's a hell of a thing.
Lots and lots of goals either side of the arena right now. It's a lot of back and forth. It's like you scoring me, I'll score on you, and it just seems to kind of go back and forward like this. Very different from the build-up that you saw between Ouroboros and the Gravity game, where it was kind of our build-up versus your build-up. This is more kind of counterplay right now, and Smash Dash are gonna have to try and go for something a little bit different to that, or I think it might have been a slightly missed QB. Speaking of missed, that is also a missed pass. Sundance definitely wants to get there, but Sendo will punch him out to make sure he doesn't. Sia is going to find a quickly contested Jorgen, who does manage to at least get some momentum on the disc. Sundance also manages to find his guy, Ambient, down the tunnel. And now Torin is often, you know, he can often be in the goal, and he can often be the guy who's also up front. Ambient will put that away, creating a 5-point lead now between the two teams.
Yeah,
right?
5 points.
I know you say don't do math on stream, so
5 points, aka at least 2 goals.
Yes, that's right.
Just the double math that you should double never do, but we do it all the time. Just breaking our own rules is how we do. Yeah, two goals doesn't seem like much, but it's still, it has to be a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer, and that's a lot to ask, especially as we said it when Torin is in goal. He tends to save quite a few of them. He will be all the way over in the opposite half though, and he won't be in goal, so it's actually open. If Sia can get this now, they might have a shot. It's open now. Sundance is in the way, so Sender will go for a little bit of a balanced setup. Oh, one Jeff Jorgen just missing that pass, which means the disc is wild. They will get back though. Smash Dash will grab it, and they will have another opportunity here. 1 minute 20 seconds left, so they need to do something fast because they need to get more goals than just this one. Tarn will make sure it won't happen, and he will clear it straight into a block, but Sia will be there with his little friend, and this little friend will clear it away. Sendo will grab it, sending it back. Jorgen has a bit of an opportunity now, and it's just going back and forth. No one really converting. Sia might be able to, and he will. Getting those 2 points first start.
1 3-point behind now. That's all they are. I've noticed as well, and I mean, I've known this for a while now from playing with him as well, but Torin is extremely good. That's the word I'm going to pick. Here are all the words. At marking underneath the goal. And I've seen it already 2 or 3 times in these games today, and more often than not, he will jump down very quickly and intercept the almost interceptable. So you have to be very careful about passing to someone under the goal. Very slow play QB from Ouroboros, but they have got it planned out, except for the part where they get the points as well. Oh my goodness! I was trying to play that through in my head then. It didn't go well, and then it did go well, and then it went really well. I don't believe that they intended on having the disc bounce down like that and come up to them, but you can't rule it out anymore, because you know, these teams, they are trying new things. I just don't think that one was anything other than luck.
Yeah, that was 3-pointer wasn't. Jeez, I can barely hear you. There we go. That was more of a looking at an opportunity from a failed clear, and then that just kind of worked out for them, and it did work out because they were only 3 points ahead. Now they're 6 points ahead. A good 2 perfect goals, and that is a hell of a thing to ask of Smash Dash with only 30 seconds left. They're going to have to work fast, and they're going for it. As one Jeff Jorgen grabs the disc, he will get punched out, and Torrid will send it down, making this chance even smaller. Ambient will punch out Sendo. Sendo One Job will be there to perform a double stack, but Sundance will grab the disc, and they just need to hold on to it for 10 seconds. And this game is more or less over, as there's, of course, 2 goals. If they get a score here, it's just for the stats, and it will miss, so we won't even have to wait. That's pretty good. Oh. Good save at the last minute there, but yeah, that one 3-pointer, that just grabbing the disc, sending it in, just getting that perfect, really just sealed the deal.
A lot of those points on the boards from both teams there were open goals. It was a bit of an open goal back and forward, and Smash Dash got punished more. But there's both Torren and Jorgen are very, very aggressive goalkeepers, especially Jorgen. Jorgen sometimes a little bit too aggressive, leaving that goal open. We liked in the EU community say that if you do that too much, then you graduated from the school of Gecko, because that is something that, you know, very amusingly in our community he tends to do a lot. He tried to perfect the art of covering the goal and baiting, and he got quite good at it, but ultimately not enough that we aren't going to make jokes about it forever. And it is now 1 round for Ouroboros, so Smash Dash now need to beat them twice if they want to take the win. But they do take the disc, but then get punched out immediately by Sundance, who's looking to collect them, but he doesn't manage to, so this could be 3 points on the board, and it is, even though Sundance was in goal, he was not ready for that 3-pointer backboard, and he just looked at his team, raised his arms, and went, eh?
That was shit. Well, not a good start for them, Ouroboros. You don't, as you said a bunch of times, you don't want to be 3 points down if you're Ouroboros. Although they have shown to be able to take them back more efficiently than they usually do. This might be just a pass, and then a goal. Maybe we'll see that. They are going for a standard split, so let's see what they can make do with this. Sundance waiting quite a while. That was not going where I was expecting it to, but Ambient will pick it up. He was, of course, expecting it, so that is good for him. Just like back and forth, not really going for anything insane, going for the shot, but that will ding out, and it will be picked up by Smash Dash. Ouroboros will go back, try and grab it, but they will pass the disc and won't be able to pick it up with the same precision that we've seen from other teams. This just, the double stack is really, really important for you to be both precise and fast. So let's see what Torren can make do here. Sends it straight over to Ambient. Now they're just looking for a setup, but Jorgen just intercepting, being in the right place at the right time, and Sendo and Sia are way ahead of Ouroboros and will send it into a ding. That will not be another 3 points for them that they could probably have sorely needed. As if they were ahead by 6 points, that's a hell of a lead to have, and that could probably have held that for the whole game, but it will be Sundance that grabs in there, goes for the bounce shot, it won't go in, and it will now be Torren that sends it up. A lot of the disc is wild quite a bit. No one really holding on to it for any length of time. We're not seeing any insane setups, and we won't even need to, as Sundance just sends it in for 3 points.
I told you, Sundance, he's the only one on that team, I feel, that sniffs out those open goals. He's got the same little radar in his head as a lot of these top players, and he saw it. And you know what? This is kind of what Ouroboros Backlash have been missing from their game. Is that other teams can have 3 people that can do that. Sundance absolutely punishing that open goal, and Smash Dash had an opportunity to be 6 up then. But unfortunately, because of their miss, now it's completely back to the drawing board. And this game, rather than being 6 up, is 3-3. Missed QB down to C. Punched out. Ambient with the disc. Passed it down to Torren, who's not even going to begin to think about shooting with someone in goal. Send it to Sundance instead, who will get the shot off. And now they are back in the lead again. And that's such a shame for Smash Dash, because, again, it just goes to show that, yeah, okay, everyone misses. It's completely normal to do so. But in a very short window, to go from a miss to then leaving your goal open for 3 points, that is punishing. And, you know, having observed Smash Dash for a while now and played against Jorgen needs to go to a different school of goalkeeping so that he can close down those 3-pointers and turn them into 2s a little bit more often. Is that English? Is it?
I think it is. It's kind of English.
Good
English enough.
Sia right now with the disc. Sendo gonna go for the punch instead. Doesn't manage to do it. So Torren is free to save it, and he does. Sends the disc up to Ambient. That was a greedy moment for Smash Dash that wanted their desperate 3 that they didn't manage to get earlier, when they could have just gone for the 2, and that would have brought them back into this game. And because of that, they're going to be punished. But that disc is not going to go in, which means Sendo is able to build up again. He's going to try and find it, but Sundance will find it, and he will also find the goal for another 3 3 points against Smash Dash, and it is not going well for them right now. Sundance is punishing open goals, and at the same time, Smash Dash just needed to go for a 2-pointer, and they went for a 3. They were like, go on, get in there, smack him out, let's get that 3-pointer we didn't get. And it just didn't work out for them. Stay open for the pass instead, build up slowly. Sundance right now, absolutely.
He's crushing it.
It's just absolutely slamming those 3-pointers home. Good for him.
He's really been the MVP of this game, I think, also, because, yeah, he's been making a lot of opportunities and taking a lot of opportunities, getting the shots that you don't necessarily do, but Sia will be here to maybe take an opportunity for himself. It will send down to One Job Jorgen, who will just miss it out, and this will bounce, go up all the way to Sundance again, who will send it back to Torren. And Torren now has a chance to clear it. He will, but he'll clear it straight into a block, so it won't go the way he wants it to. And they're going to have to stack up again to maybe get this in. It will be Jorgen that gets there first, though. So he will send it straight down, but Ambient will be in the way. And it will now be Sundance that sends it over to Torren. Torren won't be in the right position, but he will punch him out. Slam dunk that in for another 2 points. And they're now 7 points ahead. That's at least 3 goals, I do believe.
Indeed, indeed. So, as I mentioned earlier, Sundance was the one that sort of had made that 90% quip, and he was the one that ate his words. And he was very humble about it as well. He immediately sort of said afterwards, when everyone was teasing him, like, whoa, my bad, that really came back and bit me. But he is playing fantastically in this game right now. He really, really is. It's not often when you watch Ouroboros that anyone stands out in that team as being fantastic within their own kind of level, but right now it's certainly Sundance. Pass down to Sendo, who finds Sia, who's, you know, they're going to be thinking about threes all day now, but they just need to think about scoring and getting points on the board without trying anything too crazy right now. So yeah, in a good position to finish. He does, and that's another 2-pointer to Smash Dash, meaning that they're just 5 behind, and that's all they needed to do.
Yeah, 5 behind it sounds like a lot, but we've said this a couple of times today. There's 1:40 left. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time. You need 1 or 2 good conversions, and then you're back in the game. Maybe even ahead.
In Echo Arena terms, you do feel quite safe when you're a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer behind, but that they could easily remove that.
Yeah, if Ouroboros gets a goal here, it's gonna be just as hard again, and it's looking like they will, but unfortunately, that just kind of goes wild for Ambient. He will pick it up, but he will send it back, and Torren now has an open goal, but a long shot. He won't take it, sending it over to Ambient. Ambient now will probably wait for a little bit before shooting. He will wait for just too long, and Sendo will go out, take the disc straight away from him, and it will go down into Ouroboros' half and in the hands of Sia, who will get the 2 points. Now they're only 3 points behind. So
and there
1
you go.
goal
Just
to
as
get
I
this
said,
up.
the 2-point and the 3-point, you feel like you're a good little. You've got your foot in the door. You're a little bit further ahead, you know, and you start kind of collecting that win in your vision. But 1 goal takes that away. Now, preferably, that would be a 3-pointer to bring it down to a 1-2-pointer goal to bring it back completely. But 3 points with 1 minute and 13 seconds, nonetheless, especially with how these guys are leaving goals open, this is not done for Smash Dash. Sundance, this time, finding his target, which is Torren, and he will then subsequently find Ambient, bringing it back to Torren, who's got a lot of pressure on him right now, so he's going to pass it back. Sundance with the mail slot. This guy's shooting today has been on point. He is just...
God.
It's fantastic. Every single time I've watched these guys, I'm saying there's no one on this team that's punishing open goals. There's no one on this team that's noticing these. And I saw Ambient earlier hold the disc for a good 4 seconds when he had a much closer mail slot. Sundance is saying no. I don't know if he just is trying to shoot more now or if he's been training. But either way, I haven't seen him miss.
He's been really, really fantastic. That was a great shot, and that was, I mean, just as efficient as it should be, and just overall good. Straight for that mail slot, that is pretty good. But Sia will have an opportunity to maybe take some shots, maybe take some points. And after a failed punch out, it will happen eventually as Torren get punched out right there, going for 2 points, but they need 4 more, so at least
They
2
need way
goals.
more. I
And-
think the idea that Smash Dash have for their 3-pointers is to take someone, put them in goal, and try and punch the guy out, and then Sia goes for the shot. But Sia waited too long that time, and even once he moved into the 2-point zone, Torren managed to save it, but got punched out quickly after, and then the shot was dunked in. So an unlikely draw and win from Smash Dash now. Oh, but the fast-paced pressure from Sendo. I don't know why he's waiting on the block. Where he shouldn't be. That was incredible. It's like, oh, I feel like Tutorabot saying something stupid. I would just like to get in there and get involved. Immediate fast pressure.
Jesus.
And just finishing it off with a 3-pointer. I was really getting worried when he was holding it on the block. But now they're a point behind. And now a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer will put them in the lead of this game. But with 38 seconds against one of the most passing efficient teams in Europe, it's going to be difficult.
They do have a shot, though. They have quite a good shot. As 1 point, any goal at all will send them soaring ahead, and they only have 30 seconds left. Although Ouroboros will do their best to make it not happen, and Torren will just send it wide. Going for the clear, going for the boost. One job, Jorgen just has one job. Now Gretz needs to get the disc. Sender will be there first, and they will probably get the goal. They will!
Goodness.
Jesus!
Clenching my butt cheeks then, because Sendo took his merry old time to take that shot with Ouroboros following them. So, Smash Dash have brought this one back, putting them a point ahead of Ouroboros, but 18 seconds is infinitely, foreverably, never-endably, it's a long time, is what I'm trying to say with the wrong words and the wrong ways. So, it is gonna be Sundance down to Torren, who's gonna send it back, but it's a missed bounce. That could be the game-losing bounce for Ouroboros, meaning we will go to a third for this one. It will go to a third unless Torren puts us away at a million miles an hour, but he misses altogether. Also, incidentally, I saw Torren open for a free shot in that last game, and he completely smashed it over to the left, which then gave it to Sia, who then got the clear, and then Jorgen gave it with Sendo, boosted down, and they got that definitive point. Honestly, one missed goal in games this close is so punishing. It's so punishing. It really, really, really should be. So now we are going to go into a third round.
That was insane. Jesus Christ. That was, I'm still kind of flabbergasted about it, because that was just one missed pass to get into a goal, one sort of a flumpter of a goal that kind of went in there, and now we're just that was it. That was those 1 3-pointer and 1 2-pointer that you were talking about. That's just gone. So then you kind of have to pull yourself back, and Oros just couldn't do it in the 18 seconds, which of course isn't that long, but it should have been plenty of time, but they didn't. So we're now going into a third game here. PE Joust for Ouroboros. I don't think we'll be seeing a PE Joust for Smash Dash. We won't, and Ouroboros, as a result, will get it there first. Torren will grab the disc straight away, and they're just going for something. They need to push it up, and they want to get some points fast, because they don't want to make this go in for and have Smash Dash have any sort of chance. So they will set it up, setting it down to Torren, and Torren will get it in for the first 2 points of the game, 18 meters per second. A hell of a fast shot, and I think they're now maybe getting a little bit scared, and they want to get this we just need to get it fast. We just need to get a lot of points, just stay up there.
Not to be forgotten that Smash Dash beat Ouroboros 2-0 in the midweek madness. So they kind of need to win this one. So otherwise, Smash Dash are going to start going down on paper as being the team that are overtaking them right now. Which is strange, because Ouroboros also took a round from Gravity today. It's really weird. Oh, great interception from Torren. He just jumped down there like a little bat. That was incredible. Ambient going for the shot, dings it. That could have been a huge 3-pointer, putting them up 5. Jorgen getting punched out by Sundance, though, making sure that the Ambient gets another chance at this, but he might be going for the pass instead, because he's floating backwards. He does. He finds Torren, who gets punched out fast by one job, who is now jumping up and down like a giddy dolphin. He's going to probably go for the extreme, for the... Oh, that was probably going in as well. That's a shame, because that would have been a lovely shot for him, but they are still in possession of the disc. And he is going to give a very interesting flick up to Sia. I'm sorry for laughing there, but that was a very one-job Jorgen kind of pass. And it's going to be Ambient that gets a bit of momentum on the disc, but not enough. Sendo finding Sia, who doesn't have an open pass and doesn't have an open shot, so the disc will fly back, but he might still get hands on it. He doesn't get hands on the disc, he does get hands on Sundance, meaning he'll get the disc back anyway. Lots of positioning from... oh, that was a missed bounce down to into Sendo. I think it was... Oh, what an interception! He just dragged it out of his hands! Oh my goodness! Tutorial's brain cannot keep up with that!
What is happening?
That was incredible. So basically, they were building up to go for the clear, and Sendo just kind of wiped through them and went, mine, and just collected it and just put it in. Lots of missed bounces, lots of missed passing, lots of punching out there. And then eventually Sendo just went, you know what? What if I just take it from them? Like, don't get in the way. I don't punch it. I just float through them.
Grab it.
Just pluck it out of their hands.
Jesus, we've seen that a couple of times where we just kind of go in, just take it, and then just go for the goal. And it's worked quite a few times, and it did work here. Now evening them out, Ambient and his teammates will look to maybe make this less even, because it's 1-on-1 now, and I think Smash Dash has an honest chance of actually winning this again. So Ambient will probably make sure it won't happen. Maybe Sundance will have something to say as well as Torren. Let's see who'll make it happen now. So Torren, Sundance going in, sending it straight into the head of the opposite player. One job, Jorgen just being in the right place, and he will, Sia will just kind of grab on, but he won't be on for much longer than a couple of seconds before he will be punched off. So Sundance sending it up to Ambient, just playing a little bit slow, not going for anything insane. Sundance with the disc, he needs to go for something else, but he's being pushed and pressured quite a fair bit. Smash Dash have been just pressuring every single thing that's gone out. The double stack has just been on every enemy player that has the disc, and it's been doing it quite well. Sendo getting punched out there. Just a lot of punches, but Ambient will make sure that the punches will stop, because we have 2 more points for Ouroboros, and they are now in the lead. 2 minutes left. Not a high-scoring game, this one. A lot of time going for the goals.
Yeah, that was a bit more chilled, a bit more buildy-uppy that we would expect to see from these teams right now. But this again is a very close one. I have no clue who's going to take this. At the moment, in terms of mistakes, I'm probably going to say that Ouroboros are going to win this one with a 2-1. But some very impressive stuff from Smash Dash. Pass back to One Job from Sia, because he had a huge amount of pressure. Ouroboros being very, very good pressure boosters in that tunnel as of recently. Sia actually taking out the competition, but again, the greedy attempt at a 3. But they do manage to get the 2, but only just. Ouroboros is a great name for them, has come in from Viatrax. But very, 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 very interesting tactic that Smash Dash keep going. They keep going for the punch on Torren, and they keep trying the 3, but Torren is having none of it. He's having none of it. Not once has that worked as Smash Dash intend. And it's a bit of a pub strat, to be honest, because if the guy in goal knows, he will block, only throw his hands down at the last minute, slap the disc away, and it works out for the goalkeeper most times. Unless it's against Daffentera, and he will just monkey himself around the goal and you won't get to punch him anyway. Speaking of being punched, Torren is punched out in his build-up, which means C is going to go for an attempted... Don't tell me that one is going in. It might be. It is.
Go on.
He went for the bounce shot. He got the bounce shot, and that is huge for Smash Dash. Absolutely huge. Viatrax getting the correct spelling of mum with M-U-M, the European way of doing it. I'm proud of him. Well done. But what an amazing bounce shot. I mean, it's so interesting. We see so many boot bounces and side bounces that these old school trench ones, which, people have been doing since the beta, not many people rock these ones out. Not many people rock these ones out. But, Sia has just given them a massive 3-point lead.
That's 3 points ahead, because they were even before, so they now have a little bit of a comfortable lead. If this is a 2-pointer, they're still ahead, but only by 1 point. So they maybe look to extend this, but Sundance will probably try and make sure it doesn't happen, and Torren will be there, assisted by Sundance, sending it in. Again, only a 2-pointer, so we still are ahead if we are Smash Dash, which we aren't. But Smash Dash is ahead. You know what I'm saying.
Indeed,
There we go.
I don't know if Jorgen has figured it out yet, but there is a slight weakness in his goalkeeper game, and that weakness is underneath him. I've been throwing it underneath him almost exclusively in mixed, and I think that maybe Ouroboros have figured that out. It could be a coincidence, but a lot of shots are going just underneath him at the moment. So it will be Smash Dash with the disc and the 1-point lead. Very fast pressure on him. It means that Sendo is just going to slam it forward. It doesn't work out. Sundance will be in control of that disc, and Torren will have himself a mailbox slot shot, and he dings it. That again is a huge 3-point miss from Ouroboros. Is that going to come back and sting them later if Smash Dash take this win by only a few points? We'll find out, but it's a lovely shot on goal from Jorgen, collected by Torren. He's going to send the disc down to Ambient, who does collect it. He's not going to try any heroic kind of shot right now. He's going to wait for Ouroboros to formulate so that they can build up again. Torren with the disc, sending it up. Wild, not collecting the person he wanted to, meaning that Ambient is just to be able to get it. And Torren's a bit panicky, a bit jumpy. He bounces it into himself like that right now, like a bit of a lonely guy. Sundance punching out Jorgen. He's not looking though, and he almost got punched out himself. And that would have been a very painful point to concede. Ambient finding Torren. This is the build-up we've seen from Ouroboros. Sundance will put that away, and now they are 1 point up with 7 seconds to go. I wasn't paying attention to the time. I didn't realize just how damaging that 1 point is going to be, but it looks like Ouroboros are just about to 2-1 Smash Dash with a single point. And my God, am I wrong? But was it not one single point that Smash Dash beat them on in the week?
I'm not too sure. I
remember making a big song and dance about this, and I'm terrified it was 1 point.
It might have been 1 point, but I mean, they still have one shot at this.
No chance.
That was not going. Jesus, that was a risky strategy from Ouroboros, because they were just playing it slow and playing it slow and playing it slow right down to the wire almost. Yeah, 7 seconds left. That was really risky, because if that disc had gone away, if someone from Smash Dash has grabbed that disc and just cleared it down, that would have been a win for Smash Dash, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really close game. In the end of the day, it went to a 2-1 with 1 point difference, and if I'm not mistaken, that was a similar result with the games midweek, which means Smash Dash right now are contending with Ouroboros as far as I can see. One bad habit of being a player in this game is that I was too engaged in the combat in the actual game to realize that the time was grinding down, and that definitive 2-pointer was actually going to put them up and give them the win. It's a horrible disease that people that play this game have, where you don't realize the time until it's too late. But in any case, well played to both the teams. Let's see what the scores are from the other games. So it was 2-0 to the Egg Boys versus the Mariachis. Next Gen with that default win. Team Gravity getting the 2-0 on Polaris. Smash Dash losing 1-2 to Ouroboros. And we are just waiting on the one-hit wonders wasted potential game at the moment.
Third round, yeah. So that was really well played by both teams. I feel like Smash Dash got a couple of lucky breaks in there. A couple of those goals were, I don't want to say not deserved, but lucky. Lucky is the word I would use.
Yeah, there were a couple
very
of
lucky.
lucky ones, but there were some calculated lucky ones, and a good example is Sear's bounce shot was a calculated lucky shot, but that's how it is. Right, I need a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back.
Right. Well, we'll just sit here in silence, just wait for a little bit. I could tell you to tell some mean things to him when he gets back, but I'm not an asshole, so I won't do that. Instead, when he gets back, just say, "Hey, TutorialBot, you're doing good." I'm very tired. I woke up very late today. But speaking of waking up late, I don't know. We are in our third round of our 5-round cup, so this is more or less halfway in. Probably next round we're gonna be seeing maybe Egg Boys versus Gravity, because they've both been winning all the games.
game we want to see. But yeah, just to go over the little bit of analysis on that game. Really
fast,
really
man.
good play
Jesus.
from Sundance. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed with him. He
Oh, yeah,
punished
MVP.
open goals constantly, and that's the one thing, as I've said before, Ouroboros have been missing from their game. And if Ambient and Torren can do that in the same way, I mean, Torren isn't going to say that he's an amazing shooter. He knows that his shot is funky, and he missed a couple of shots as well. All right, but if he works on that a little bit more, and he manages to get himself in a situation where he's aware of the open goals, and Ambient is as well, and they can bring themselves up to even close to what Sundance did, that would be very, very potent for Ouroboros. Then they're going to have the passing game, the build-up game, Torren has got fantastic interception game, and then they're going to have this you can't leave goals open either kind of thing. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Sundance. I'm going to say the only reason he's that good is because he played some mixed scrims recently and he watched me. So that's obviously right. But no, we're really well played to him. He did good.
Really good. He was the MVP. So you're not gonna. Jesus, I'm just talking over you. Sorry, man.
That's okay. It's okay. Sometimes the only way to get words across is to scream them.
Just to scream and shout. Well, I have the mute button, so I can just force myself in there. What can I say?
Sorry, did you just say what I think you just said?
I might want to rephrase that a little bit.
I mean, a more mature version of me would ignore it, but also I have a wireless headset, so when I went into the girls' room, I did hear you talking. So
you heard the nice things I wanted people to say and they didn't.
Indeed.
Can I say? That was really fast. Jesus Christ. By the way.
What? Well, you see, the trick with going for a PP
God.
to save time is just not to wash your hands.
I mean,
I'm
sure.
joking. I'm joking. I smell that? Honey. I love honey soaps.
What?
My soap had honey in it, so now my hands smell of honey.
You licking your hands? Oh, smelling. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I washed my hands with soap that has a scent of honey. I didn't just dunk my hands in some sticky old honey. So,
Well, I mean, honey is so sugary that bacteria can't really grow in there, so it would be kind of effective.
Doesn't spoil. It's fun. It's really good like that.
Honey is
keep
fantastic.
honey. It crystallizes. All right.
It does.
But that bad boy will not go away.
Save the bees. Save the bees.
I think honey is way better than syrup. Changed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, honey is... Okay, so here's the thing. Honey is way better than syrup because if I'm making scrambled eggs and I want to sweeten up a little bit, I don't want to use syrup, I want to use honey. That's why it's better.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I don't want to use sugar, that's...
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say if Finity says it can, then it probably can't. I remember we played the forest and she was going on about a wild mushroom that will that's completely edible, and then we looked it up and it was like poisonous. Do not eat this. It's a good. So either Finity got the mushroom wrong, or she was trying to kill us in game, which
Either one. Well, I mean, that's one way of winning games is just to kill the opponents. Literally.
Yeah, even if they're on your own team. I mean, wow, check that out.
Yeah, it's just,
So apparently this last game is in its last third round at the moment. And that will be concluding very quickly. And hopefully they will put in the points as quick as possible so we can move on to our juicy fourth round. And I feel like the fourth round could be the one we want with the...
Probably going to be some...
So it's not synergy. It's Egg Boys or Eggigi. And you know, the irony that we have got an Egg Boys game on Easter Sunday. So happy Egg Day to everyone. I did say I was going to make egg puns, but I think I might do my best not to, because I don't want to stoop to that level, you know.
What do you mean stoop to that level? Puns are just the epitome of what humor can be.
Yeah, true.
I want to rescind my statement.
I want to give Egg Boys their first debut streamed community game to be a serious one and not one, you know, laced in puns. So
Yeah, it's
we're gonna do it that way.
well, we didn't really have that much time to make puns because they were just playing so excellently. There we go. So God damn it! I'm disappointed in myself.
No, actually, Nada said it was poisonous, Finity.
Okay.
And you said it was edible, and then I think she researched it, and it was poisonous. Just to clarify that, or to inform. Now, I believe we should be moving on into our 4th round now, and we've got Egg Boys versus Team Gravity Next Gen.
There we go.
Mariachis, Ouroboros, Smash Dash, Polaris with Waste Potential getting that default win. So we know what we want, what we really, really want, and I'm going to
Could you tell me what you want? What you really, really want?
These guys invite for that.
Thank you. I need to go fix my fridge. Just a second.
Yes, alcohol is a poison, technically. Like,
What?
you have to use it in small moderation. In fact, 100% alcohol will kill you straight out. If you drink it.
Yeah. Well, so is
It can make you
caffeine. I
blind.
mean, anything's
So,
poisonous.
Yeah, definitely. And so is tobacco. Also, can be poisonous.
And if you have enough of it, anything's poisonous. Even water.
Well,
Water
yeah,
can kill
it's
you.
true. Water can kill you. But you also, in the same way, can take an absolute microscopic amount of cyanide and live. It still means it's poison.
Yeah, that's true. It's just if you can ingest a normal amount and it will kill you, it's usually considered poisonous. There we go. I think they measured.
Like saying alcohol is heatly as he sits there getting drunk on a fine Sunday afternoon.
Yo, it's Sporty, dude. It's Sporty. Oh, yo, you want party up?
Yeah. Boom! Oh God, Jesus, you horrible man.
Does that echo if I'm talking here?
Oh God, I need to mute you. Yes, there is.
Hello, sir. My name is Tutorial Matt. Can I be of assistance?
Oh please, yeah. Could you get me in a game?
Yeah, I'm actually trying right now. I'm hoping these guys aren't gonna get too nervous. So let's.
Yeah, Boop was saying some random things about not.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm hoping that he's kidding. He probably is. He's probably just booping us. But you know, they did play a bit shaky under pressure the other day. So maybe they are. But surely they're not going to stop the community from playing. They wouldn't do that. I don't think these guys are going to do that.
They're good sports. They're good sports. So let's see. What is next year?
Yep, same Infinity. Sulfates really do not go well with me. Any ciders or beers just absolutely destroys me, which is why I am a whiskey man. Yeah, at Team Gravity, if you could get you guys involved. Keep hitting my mic. Right, I'm joining.
Are you joining?
I got an invitation on the
Right.
accident. So.
Oh, I got one too.
Joining match.
Thanks, guys. Have a good game.
I think. Wait, is that the right one, or am I completely wrong? I might be
Did
wrong.
you get it?
I got one from Nillowick, but I forget.
Yeah,
who's
you're
on.
connecting now, dude. You're connecting
Oh,
now.
great,
Don't
great, great, great. There we go. Oh,
So,
That one was
this
for Ashley,
is
which was
the
bad.
debut game against the big boys Gravity for Egg Boys. Of course, Synergy causing Gravity problems, especially towards the end where, you know, it was really anytime these two giants got together for a game, it was like, who's going to win? Now, Gravity had the kind of 60-40 probably, you know, favoritism on their side for absolute certainty, but they lost games to them. They genuinely did, and this is obviously a different configuration of Synergy, because this is Gecko instead of Lego. And as I mentioned earlier, Gecko and Lego have a somewhat similar support play, but they are also very, very different. And Gecko's rehearsal time with Niliwick is substantially less than with Lego. But Gecko's got the experience of playing on teams with Boop and Affentera, and so is this going to be something fantastic to bring to the team, or is it not?
I'll just real quick point out, I'm not too sure what's happening. That was replay at the start. It wasn't just them scoring a goal and then not scoring a goal. I know what happened. But yeah, I'm looking very much forward to seeing it. Seeing what will happen here.
Gecko likes to be blue, and he will make you change color. So,
oh, am I? God damn it!
Both teams going for the PE launch, premature ejection launch. Let's see whose is going to be faster today. It looks like Gravity's completely didn't work out, so it will be Egg Boys that managed to get there. Boop at the moment trying to fumble around for the disc. He gets hold of it. He's going to go for the dramatic shot straight away and dings it. Oh my goodness, that was an early 3-point attempt and almost put it away early, but it will be an early 2 points instead. Boop doesn't care. If you leave that space open between the goal and him, and he is in that mail slot, his shot being the sideways way that it is, he will definitely go for it. He'll have a crack at it. See, I already did
it. Good one. That's all I could muster. But yeah, that was a fantastic start from Gravity. If they can keep this momentum, it's gonna be a stomp. But it looks like they are just going a little bit slower right now. Although their double stack is doing their best to maybe do something, but it won't matter as long Gecko is just sitting out on the floor with an open goal and goes for that long one. It says bounce shot, but I think it just bounced off the ring into the goal, and that was a fantastic start for them. So good on Gecko for getting that one in there.
Yeah, Affentera went down for the high pressure, which is it wasn't the wrong thing to do at all. It was a bit of a tight angle, and Gecko kind of threaded it past the block that was obstructing him and past the player that was obstructing him, and actually got the 3-pointer against Affentera, which is not an easy thing or a common thing to do. Affentera now with that QB down to Boop. A little bit of pressure on him from Niliwick and Gecko, but not quite what Synergy would provide. I think they are split up in the middle right now, but that's because they are going for their man marking. Affentera in control with the disc right now, not pressured, but then suddenly pressured, which means the Egg Boys are able to suddenly disperse the crowd, and some really fast re-grabbing from them as well. A little bit of a fluster and a little bit of a fight going on in those tunnels right now as the disc moves from possession to possession constantly. It's being slammed down, again moved over down to Matty, who manages to finally get that disc out of there. And now it's going to be even more fighting to see who is going to be the team that ends up with it. And it will be Gecko for another 3-pointer, putting them 6-2. Complete fights going on in those tunnels there. Disc moving from hand to hand.
We're just cracking heads. A fair few stuns. Only a minute into the game, we already see over 20 stuns, I think. That's quite a bit higher than we usually see, and I think most of it was due to that one brawl, where everyone was just kind of grabbing anything they could and just doing with it what they wanted to. And that was not the best for Gravity, as they're now 4 points behind, but we've seen them do way better than this. We've seen them close way bigger gaps. Oh, unfortunate, as that pass will go straight into a piece of Geo, but he will be there to remedy that, and Viatrix now has a completely one-on-one open thing situation going here. He sends it over to Boop, and that one-on-one turns into a 1v3, and that will go for 2 points, but they still need quite a few more. Well, 2 points more. But
it's really the difference between a player like Viatrix and a player, let's not name names, a player who's not as aware. It was often these players will go, right, I'm going to stare at my pass or I'm going to stare at the goal. But he had like this halfway in between little touch back and forth with his head there, and he was like going, right, goalie, you, goalie, you, goalie, you, goalie, you. And then he found a very nice cutback pass to Boop and got the finish, right? That kind of awareness is really undervalued in Echo Arena in general. So it will be Matty at the moment who's bow tie. He's going to find Gecko, but he actually finds a bounce instead, which means it will be Affentera who goes for it. Lovely block from him means that he will get a chance to send the disc. But it's going to be a fight right now to see who's going to be. It's going to be Viatrax. Oh, he dings it. That could have been a huge three-pointer for them. So now the fight is going to continue as Gecko gets rid of that disc. And it will be Gravity that gets down to that disc again. Not quite the pass down that Boob wanted because he was punched out. He didn't get a chance to do something. And Matty's going to go for the backboard and get it for another three-pointer from Egg Boys. Big three-pointers right now. We've had 3 of them from them. 3 threes. Another 3, and it will be, a dozen. Like a dozen eggs.
Ah, see what you mean. But yeah, a lot of three-pointers and only three-pointers. Really just... Their shots have just been on point. Every single shot has gone where it needed to go. And this is putting Gravity under a bit of pressure now as they are a couple of points. I can't do math. A couple of points behind. At least 2 goals, I think. And that is going to put them under a little bit of pressure, especially now where they have a whole new team to compete against. And you want to do good. You want to show your kind of your dominance here, and this is where you want to do it. So maybe we can see a little bit more of that as Affentera moves himself up. Sees he has 2 teammates to go for, but doesn't go for any of them. Just goes for the goal and gets a couple of points for himself and his team.
He is alive over that shield. Affentera, sorry to interrupt you there, Malloran. Affentera is just an absolute ballerina when it comes to the shield. He just maneuvers around and he can, manage to get past people. The other thing we need to factor into this game as well is that when you play against teams, you learn their patterns, you learn their ways. And when you have a team as high caliber as Egg Boys, but new in the way that they might be doing things, it's going to take Gravity a while to adjust to their play, to find answers to the questions. So it's expected that, it's going to be a little bit like this to start with. It might continue like this, but who knows? And like this is only 3 points behind anyway, it doesn't say much, especially with 2 minutes left. So Nillywick punched out there by Affentera, who is trying to hide on his usual position. Nillywick not really allowing him to do that. That's good play from him. Disc is clear right now for Nillywick, but there's great speed from Viatrax, who then finds it back to Boop, who then sends it down into the tunnel. That might be going favorably for him, and it doesn't. It ends up to Gecko. He's going to go for, I'm not sure if that was a wide pass to Nillywick then. I think that might have been, tried to kind of give him an opportunity to get the pass away from his man. Affentera at the moment holding the disc, not got any pressure on him, so he can think about his choices, and he goes for Viatrax, who's got a nice left and right kind of build up in this 2v1 situation, and he will go for the, he went for the shot, but he got punched out by Gecko then. That was the usual thing that Gravity do, is the last minute pass and a last minute slap down to Affen. And Gecko just managed to get on that. And there's lots of fighting going on right now. Look at that massive punch from Boob as well. Really, really fast. There's not much you can do. Viatrax has still got possession. Boop is going to have to do something quick. He does. He manages to get the disc clear. And it means that now there's an opportunity for a 3 as well. But I'm not sure what happened there. I think it was a missed backboard pass or missed backboard shot. Sorry. And it's now Matty who's going to send it back to Gecko, who also gets punched out. Again, so much violence going on from these matches between these guys. Gecko finding Matty, who goes for the shot, who gets a ding, but it goes straight back into the hands of him as Affentera didn't manage to clear it. And now it is 11-6. Whew.
Jesus, that was a long one.
That was one hell of a battle. That is a vocal cord warm-up. So much going on between these guys. So many passes and positioning changes very quickly. They kind of go from formation to formation.
Really just back and forth, like almost 2 minutes of it, but it still will mean that 5 points behind is Gravity, and they need to get something fast, as we now only have 30 seconds left of this first round, and they are a slow start, but let's see if they can make something happen. They almost can, but Boop will just get saved by Matty. I don't think that was going in either way, but that will end up down in their half, and it will be up to them to maybe get some more points, although I think with 10 seconds left, this round is more or less over, and their warm-up is done, as I think they would say. Oh, Matty going for a cheeky one, not letting it get in. That was close.
So
But
it'll be the
either
first
way,
round for them,
6 to
yeah.
11. God damn.
I swear that was in time.
Egg Boys will take the first round from Gravity, but as I have seen today already, and as I've said before, Gravity are a team that often like to kind of feel out the first game with their team. You know, they kind of like to explore what's working, what's not working, and, you know, they quickly and often convert a one early round loss into a 2-1 to them. But they will need to do that now to beat Egg Boys. They
Well,
will need
we
to do that.
kind of saw the same thing with Ouroboros in that the first one, they seemed shaky and kind of off a little bit, not the sort of thing we're used to. And then they kind of, like, they came back halfway through the second game, and then they just kind of stumped in the third one. Maybe we'll see the same here, or maybe we're seeing the new best team in Europe. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be a little bit before Egg Boys is really at the level of like their top, because they are a new team, they are new teammates. You need to play a little bit more for that to sort of take effect and for you to be an effective playing team. But we might be seeing the start of something new.
Very possibly impossible to say at this point, to be honest. I would say that, you know, it's definitely stretching to that. But the disc is completely free for whoever wants it at the moment. It will be Matty who's in control. He finds Gecko on the floor in the setup, and he's going to go for the thing he does. I mentioned it before, where he will create that gap for himself. He will create the optimal goal position for himself by pushing off. Yeah, I think it's absolutely impossible right now, Malaran, to say that.
Yeah, that was more or less a just a kind of pulling it out there.
Obviously, it's impossible to say that we definitely aren't, but it takes a long while.
I'm not saying they're the best. Jesus Christ.
But it takes a long while.
It takes
Now,
quite a while.
Gravity with Avantera passing it down to Vitrax. Gonna send it over to Boop. He's waiting on Pac-Man. Got himself the pass back. As Niliwick is punched out. This will be a clear 1v1. Matty will not save that one, which means this game is now neck and neck. 2-2 with 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time for anything to happen. Yeah, it's now the joust advantage to Egg Boys. I didn't really notice how well they utilized it last time, but if I remember correctly, they did get a pretty good conversion on it, so let's see what they will make happen here. Not going for the PE joust, but of course when you're this close to the disc, you don't really need to. And it looks like Gravity isn't going for it either, just going for a standard thing. Matty just pushing off there. That double joust is so fast, the double stack, excuse me, is so fast, and he will actually manage to punch someone out, but they won't get the disc, so Long Gecko will end up with it. Not really passing it to anyone, just kind of feeling out his options. Sending it over to Niliwick. Niliwick just has. He has a teammate to work with, but he goes for the backboard hold. Sending it over to Gecko, and Gecko sends it in for 2 points. Not a lot of time has passed. Only a minute, but still we have 6 points on board. And again, a little bit of a lead for Egg Boys. Not the biggest lead in the world.
Small lead. I mean, and basically, as long as there's 2 points between each team as they take turns with the attack and the defense, it's always going to be like a back and forth. But it does look like Egg Boys are setting up for some fast pressure right now as they start further back in the tunnel, but it won't be fast enough as Boop has got the pass down to Vitrax, who finds him back again, who then manages to find Vitrax again. Now, Vitrax under the goal. Rather pass it back to Afantera for the build-up. That might be the smart move. Niliwick punching out Vitrax. Boop is unchecked, but manages to get punched out by Matty. Stolen by Vitrax, though, for the 2-point. Huge moment as he manages to bring the score back up to 4-4 after Egg Boys managed to actually out-pressure Gravity in the box. It's not a box. It's circular. So it's circle. Spherical,
sphere.
almost. Yeah, sphere. But yeah, really interesting. But it was some good, tenacious. We haven't given up in the moment attacking from Gravity, specifically Vitrax there.
Yeah, and Vitrax again. I think we've seen the the cup of the support players, where Sundance has really been doing well. Viatrix has really been doing well. We might be able to see him do weller. I don't know. Nilowik will end up with the disc and he will send it over to Gecko. Going for some slow play as we used to see from Synergy. Just going for that triangle on the floor. It will dissolve quickly though. And they will go for the shot. Nilowik will take the long shot. No one in goal to keep this from happening. And the 3 points ahead will now be Egg Boys.
Yeah, in the 2v2, I see your 2, I give you 2 battle, a 3-pointer is damaging, definitely. But again, you know, Egg Boys are against Gravity, and Gravity has got Boop, and if he finds a window to do that 3-pointer, he will also punish. So, I don't think it really matters at this stage. As Alphantera sends the disc down to Viatrax, who finds Boop in the position on, I was going to call it Pineapple, but it's not that. Sorry for the noisy car outside my house. I'm not in a studio. Alphantera, nice controlled play from Gravity right now. Viatrax keeping a hand on a surface to make sure he's got full control. He's got 2 guys waiting for him right now. Boop, look at this positioning from these guys. Beautifully done. They were just surrounding the goal there. They all had a block. I mean, I think you had a Gravity member on top mid, top left, and top right shoulder then. It was just complete. It was a complete swarm. Really difficult job for a guy to. He couldn't leave his spot. Yeah. Like Matty was no chance that he was going to be able to leave goal to mark that at that point, because it's 3v3 and one of you is going to have to move and one of you is in goal.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful setup, beautiful execution. Although they are now still 1 point behind because of that 3-pointer, and maybe even Egg Boys looking to make this more than 1 point. Maybe they're looking for a 3-pointer again, which would be quite the pull. Oh, Lone Gecko unfortunately missing his pass, so he will have to slap it away. Matthew will pick it up. Sorry, that's Nilowik that will pick it up, and they will go for the setup. Just they don't have to do anything fast, they just have to do it kind of ish at some point, although there's still 2 minutes left, so this might not be the time to just hold back. This might be the time to get possibly a lead if you need to get some goals in there, because 2 minutes, there's still plenty of time for Gravity to get back in the seat and get a couple of 3-pointers even if Boop sees the opportunity. Ooh, we're going for the setup, but this will get picked up by, I believe that was Viatrix that picked it up and sent it away. And now Gravity has a complete open goal, a lot of opportunity. A double stack will get back there, and they will get first. Lone Gecko picks up the disc. Boop will do his best to maybe do something, but he will get punched out. Alphantera and Viatrix, though, will grab the disc, sending it over to Boop. Whoa! A rare miss from the Boop shot master. And this will result in a clear for Egg Boys. We might go a little more time before we see anything happen, although Nilowik and Gecko have been boosting fast back, and they have the disc now. So now a 2v2 situation. One from Gravity goes back, but a great save from Alphantera. Make sure that won't happen. And now they need to boost back. No one from Egg Boys is boosting back, so they have a little bit of time, although that double stack has finally arrived, and they are now in the goal. Let's see if they can make this conversion happen. They can almost, as Alphantera thinks it. Viatrix will pick it up, and he will now have a little bit of opportunity, but Nilowik will just steal it out of his hands, sending it away. This clear and boost is really fast, and Matty will pick it up and send it in for another 3 points, extending this lead to 4 points now. Whew. That's a tough
Gravity
one.
are quite fond of losing to a team to make them go back to the drawing board and come back with a lot more tricks up their sleeve. So I don't really think this is going to bother them too much. But it's 4-point lead to Egg Boys right now, and Gravity are going to need to bring that back if they are going to prevent the 2-0 loss to the new team. New player on that team, Egg Boys.
Ooh,
Save from Matty from Boop there. Nilowik in control of the disc right now. Is going to send that clear away. They look like they're going to be the first ones there as it's just underneath. Oh, they didn't manage to get to it, though. They had the speed. They didn't quite have the control, but the disc is still free for them if they want to get to it. Matty's slapping it down now, which will favor Gecko. The goal was open. I don't think he was quite aware, but he doesn't actually care because right now he's more interested in keeping it. Niliwick, however, will never not take the shot if the goal's open, and he does, which means that this will be a 2-0 win for the new Egg Boys. This is their first debut, and they've done very well.
That's a hell of a debut, yeah.
You know, it's been very. I mean, it's been a very similar kind of play from them that it has been when they were Synergy, but a little bit more controlled and a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, they're just playing it out the last 16 seconds. Although you can't really make up a lead for. What, that's 7 points lead? You can't really make that happen, so they're just kind of playing it out right now. But yeah, 2-0. Jesus Christ. That's good. Yeah, good debut.
2-0 to the Egg Boys. And we have got some more results in as well. Smash Dash beat Polaris 2-0. Wasted Potential got the default win. Mariachi's game versus Ouroboros is still ongoing, and Next Gen versus One Hit Wonders is still ongoing.
So, but it should also be said that we are. Oh, there we go. We are in stage 2 now. Gravity did, of course. I need to pick the right one. There we go. Gravity did, of course, qualify for stage 1, so they are safe. They're gonna go to qualify the closed qualifiers, I believe, in a couple of weeks, so they are safe. They can lose however much they want and still go to the qualifying rounds. Although you don't ever want to lose. It never feels good.
Yeah,
still,
I mean, losing these games, especially at the high level, it just makes you feel sick. It's not a nice feeling at all. It really isn't, and it makes you feel very. It makes you feel very like backed up against the wall. Okay, but the end of the day, like you said, Gravity can lose as much as they want. The real games are not yet, and I'm sure you're paying way more attention than me. When are those? When is that? What's the date on that real?
Well, I can't tell you the date, but I can tell you the progression of dates. So we are now in the 5th cup, so that is. Second cup of stage 2 will have the next cup. I believe the next cup will be the finals of stage 2, not the finals, but the final cup of stage 2 will be next one. Okay. Then after that, we will have a last chance kind of qualifier. Then we'll have the closed qualifiers, and then we'll have the final games in Leicester. So about a month plus a little bit before the finals, I think.
Yeah, it's about a month. I think is about how long we've got, and the results of those are not necessarily going to be cut and paste. They're not exactly going to be black and white. You know, you don't know what's going to happen in those. We don't even know which teams are going to be there for the last qualifiers, for example.
Yeah, we still have there's only one team for each category that's qualified yet, so there's still plenty of things that could happen, plenty of new teams that could come in.
I mean, I think we've seen about as much shifting around in terms of team players as possible. I really do. You know, there aren't that many players now waiting in the wings to cause upsets. You know, and I wash my hands of playing for this season entirely. And possibly even next season, so who knows. But I think right now the dust has settled on the teams, and we have to kind of see what happens from that point onwards. And it can be interesting. But I think in terms of teams, and I don't want to jinx it, you know, touch wood, but I think that's pretty much what these are the teams, you know, especially the main configuration of teams it's going to be. There might be room for one more upset, maybe, but other than that, I'm pretty sure that this is what we're going to see, and yeah, we'll find out.
Well, the thing is, because I was thinking about it, because Ouroboros is an upset machine. they've both taken rounds from Gravity and like beaten Synergy, but then they also almost lost to Smash Dash. Like just things are just happening around them that should and shouldn't be happening, which is it's weird. It's always fun to watch their games because it can be it's almost feast or famine. Most of the time it's famine. And that's always interesting to watch it.
It's going to be. I think what's really important right now, more than anything, between rather than the kind of pitter patter between who's best, is that the fact that Europe, EU, are really showing up in terms of their gameplay. Smash Dash have stepped it up a game. Ouroboros have stepped it up a game. Gravity remain to be a very, very effective team. Egg Boys, they are the new guys. Well, at least one of them is in that configuration. So it's what's really interesting is to see is just that there's just general high quality in these teams, and they're improving, and that's really nice to see as well. It really is. Like I said, Sundance today has been exquisite. It really, really has. The pressure from Smash Dash has been a little bit more than what I'm used to seeing as well, and they're making teams make more mistakes than usual. I'm very, very, very interested to see the main. I love watching the games of the top players and the top teams against each other, but I'm more interested in the bigger picture, which is the clash between NA and EU, which will happen in Leicester at the finals on the 8th and 9th of June.
It will. And with that said, we are going into a final round as all the results have gone up. I hope you don't mind, but I've picked a game for us already. Send out the invites. We have Egg Boys versus Ouroboros. I think would be quite interesting to watch, as all the other ones seem less interesting.
Yeah, that looks like that will be the good setup. Did you send the invites? Did you say, yeah?
I sent a message. I should send an invite. Possibly. Oh. There we go. I should be muted in game.
Still room for Ouroboros to completely stir things up now and actually go and get a win now from those. Possible. Ouroboros, like I said, they are that team. They can do it. So
they can do a lot of things. So you're there. Just send an invite out to some people. Ooh, there we go. Jesus, the time is just flying past. We've been doing this for like almost 3 hours. Jesus, it never feels this long.
I'm feeling very lightheaded right now. This is what happens when you come off keto for a couple of days, all right? The hunger pangs come straight back.
Oh,
they come straight back.
You need to wait for what?
Gilligan join?
We not get a default. Woo! Alright. Hello.
Is the 9th going to be the finals and live shows in arena? If so, it might be able to me. The specific dates have not been allocated yet, as far as I'm aware, man. I don't actually know. So I haven't got a clue. I mean, it could be the 8th, it could be the 9th, and I'm actually talking in game and in the stream, so I'll mute myself in game.
I was about to ask, are you streaming or something?
Yes, sorry, dude, I am. I'm talking in game. But yeah, so I think. Wait, 7th and 8th. It's 7. Okay, yeah. So the 8th and 9th, not really sure to be honest. I think what normally happens is oh no, because of course there's gonna be 4 games, so it could work out. I really don't know. Is the answer. I am absolutely, unequivocally, never going to be the right person to answer that question. I'm just genuinely rubbish in that regard. But I think the 9th is my intuition, my instinct. Ramus tells me that it will be the 9th, where all the juicy battles will happen. Traditionally, what happens is it's over 2 days, right? There's like a lower bracket and upper bracket, etc., etc. But with 4 games being displayed, it's very possible that 2 will be on one and then 2 on the other. We'll find out. I imagine then the 9th will be like the finals game. At least I hope. I hope it's not just like, oh, single elim, they lost, done. Yeah.
Have a good game, everyone. I've sent you some invites. Send you some invites. I should have
said that and terrified me.
we've started and...
This is the last game for today, yeah?
Yep, this is the last game for us for tonight. Unless, of course, we have tiebreakers. In which case, there will be more games during the week. And I don't actually have any parties to go to. So I will be there to do the camera thing. There we go. Did you end up doing that game? Because I was kind of been out of it for a week. So I didn't actually see if there ended up being a game streamed.
No, in the end, I don't think they did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. But yeah, I should be free, so if there are any tiebreakers, let's get them done midweek. For some midweek madness. So, I should get the team names sorted out.
So this will be Ouroboros versus the Egg Boys. Both these teams have played well against Gravity today. And the big question is how well they'll play against each other. This will again, it's the first time. Spoiler alert, apparently Egg Boys are dominating mostly in these scrims against Ouroboros. So that's what I personally will expect to see right now.
I agree. I'm just
Lauren
getting
agrees.
some cold air in here. It is hot as just hell.
It's definitely toasty.
I have a small room with a bunch of things in it, and they just absorb heat and just have the heat constantly, and it's terrible mess. I need to get this sorted out. But either way, yes, this is our final game for tonight, round 5. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I personally haven't seen. Well, yeah, I haven't seen much from Egg Boys because they're a new team, so I don't actually know who will win this. Although Egg Boys did seem quite strong in the last game, Ouroboros did seem strong, but not as strong as we saw them last week, I want to say. So yeah, I feel like it might probably go to Egg Boys, but we'll have the answer in no more than 20 minutes. Let's hope less.
Let's hope less indeed. But we'll find out as they start now.
And we have our camera is ready. Oh, this replay. I don't know why this replay is happening. You're not going to miss much. There we go. You go ahead.
So, it is Egg Boys that do take it very early, and a very early three-point attempt as well. Gecko, knowing that disc was still going, he had the sense to keep... You know what was interesting is that Gecko has constantly got the taste of a three-pointer. He knows a three-pointer when it's going in or not, and he left that one to go in, and I think a lot of players would have grabbed that disc then and actually have just thrown it in, which is very, very interesting to see. But Gecko left it, and Nillywick's original three-point shot got to be a three-pointer after all.
That was a scary three-pointer as well, because it was moving very slowly, so that could have easily been intercepted. But he had the overview, he knew what happened, and he just let that go in for a great start for them. Now Ambient has the disc, and they're moving up quite slowly, just not doing anything, just taking their time. Not being pressured too much either, so they have time to kind of set it up. Sends it over to Torin, and Torin will put it in for 2 points. Most of his shots kind of look like slam dunks, but he just gets it out of the hand just beforehand, so they aren't slam dunks. It's always interesting to watch Torin shoot, because, as you've said before, he has a very interesting and different style to what we usually see. Very good. I should get this fixed.
Interesting.
There we go. I think you're good now.
So, the Ouroboros are off with a very fast launch. Matty is going to send that disc down fast to Nillywick and finds him, who finds Gecko in an optimal position as well. Straight back up to Nillywick, straight back down to Gecko, who's in a great place to finish, but passes to Matty instead. Fantastic play from the Egg Boys, and they finish it off for a 5-2 lead. That's some really superb passing and setups from them.
Yeah, they've been just all around doing really well. I mean, I'm because with different teams you can kind of say like they're really good at this or they're really good at this, but I think just Egg Boys are just generally doing really well in most of the things they do. Their passes are good, their clears are good, their jousts are good. It's looking very promising for them. But we have Ouroboros just kind of going for it. Oh, a little bit of a missed bounce. Will not be too bad, but it will make sure that this will be probably a little bit out of position, and Longecko will take advantage of that, sending it down. He does not have anyone to boost with, but his other teammates do, and Nilowik sends it out for a three-pointer. Jesus, that was good. That was a really tough shot, but he did make it, and that sends him up to 5 points ahead. Sorry, that's 6 points ahead for 2 goals at least.
Punishing that three-pointer as he tends to do so. You know, this is the thing. If Nilowik has got the disc, he's another kind of a lower tier boot in my opinion, but still, he will absolutely punish any opportunity to take that three-pointer. He will get it. So a good, strong lead with the Egg Boys right now, as they have a bit of a problem, actually. Not Egg Boys, sorry. The Ouroboros there. A bit of a missed bounce, and another missed bounce means that it will come straight back to Nilowik. But luckily for the Ouroboros, they got their hands on it. Now, Gecko is going to send a fast disc down, which gets collected by Sundance, but he gets punched out by Nilowik, who's going to take a look straight at that goal. If it's open, is it open? It is. He's not going to do it until he has to, and now he's going to do it. That's a very strange thing, because Nilowik's a very, very, very confident shooter, and to hold on to it, to guarantee those 3 points, just goes to show the difference between a kind of chilled out mixed and a we need these points, because these points are going to put us head and shoulders above this game, and that is exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, 9 points ahead. That's quite a lead. That's not a 2-pointer and a 3-pointer. That's at least 3 3-pointers, and they are quite hard to get. So they have a comfortable lead right now. Egg Boys, as you said before, kind of. I don't want to say it a stomp just yet, because there's still 3 minutes go, but it's not looking good for Ouroboros, as they are quite a bit behind. They will grab the disc though, but he will get punched out just afterwards, and Torn will end up with it. He gets pushed and he needs to send it up, and they have a little bit of time to set it up, possibly get some points, but they will need to get a far more than just a few points, and it won't be now, as someone I didn't quite see who grabbed it, send it away. Not the best clear in the world, but you don't need the best in the world, you just need it to get away. Nilowik picks it up, goes for the shot, and it dings. Ambient just going down there, just missing it out. Longecko sending up to Nilowik. Nilowik just getting punched out again, and the stuns are just fantastic. Everyone's just doing him, and it's really showing, because no goal is really being converted as beautifully as we have seen before. And we have Nilowik getting the disc, sending it down to no one, unfortunately, and Matty will just grab it, sending it over to Gecko, and a lot of time is being wasted here. A whole minute, I believe, has just been passed playing up here, and with such a substantial lead as this, it is good for them. And a shot by Matty will push this off, polish off the points, and they are now 11 points ahead. God damn.
So it's clear to see that Nilowik and Matty are keeping the kind of ethic alive that they had with Lego, where they don't need to score, so they might as well hold the disc and might as well concentrate on some nice passing instead. But it was a little bit of a variation to it, because once the gap was open, the shot was taken, and that's what, you know, Nilowik did. I suppose that is always the old idea, is to draw someone out of goal, granted, but in this case it was Matty that just managed to put it away for a 2-pointer. Sundance right now QBing as per the Ouroboros standard. Nice little pass across to Ambient, who will find Torrin again. Sorry, it will find Sundance. I thought that was going for Torrin, but Sundance picked up. And now that was a good possible attempt on goal there, but the pressure meant that the disc just floated towards it. And it will be Egg Boys that get there first. A little bit of miscommunication between Gecko and Matty there, as they weren't sure whether they were staying around or not, but this time they will. Gecko moving out of the way and then taking the shot. And right now, Ouroboros they're getting really punished by this new Egg Boys team. And I think the mentality is going to start shifting for them as they start thinking about, right, let's move this over to the next game that we're going to play.
Yeah.
Let's make this the 2-1.
Yeah, because it feels weird to say it while there's still 1.5 minutes left. But this round's more or less over. 13 points ahead, and we haven't seen any sort of consistent and concise answer. Oh my god, that's really good one. Yeah, we haven't seen any consistent, concise answer from Ouroboros to what is happening, and unless we see it now, it's probably not going to happen this round, so they are focusing on as Lone Gecko grabs the disc, sends it up straight into the head of Torn, and Torn will have another save on his record, but it won't last as Matty sends it in for 3 points. Wow. That's one hell of a scoreline. 16 points ahead.
Yeah, this game is. I mean, if they would, I mean, they might as well press the restart button. If they're really thinking about wins and losses right now, they would press the restart button, because Ouroboros have yet to prove to me that they are the team that can have a comeback. And this is one hell of a comeback that would be required for them, because we're talking about a 16-point deficit right now. Torren in the tunnel, looking for Ambient. It's a bit of a standard play from them right now, and it does work quite well, but there's pressure coming in fast, which means that it's a missed pass up to Sundance. He's not able to get his hands on it. Ambient will get the rebound, though, and Torren in the danger zone, which is behind goal, sends it up to Sundance, who will put it away for a 2-pointer. And now it's 4-18, but they really need to start thinking about moving on to the next round.
Yeah, that was a beautiful little thing there, but they are still 5 goals behind, and they all need to be 3-pointers, and you are working against the current every time, and you only have 45 seconds. We can probably go on to say what's gonna happen next round, unless I think Ouroboros find an answer and do it quickly. This is gonna be a clean sweep 2-0 for Egg Boys, and a fantastic debut for them.
Yeah, it will be. It's going to be a good. It's going to be a good thing for their egos. It's going to be a good thing for their kind of team chemistry that they've done well with it. But it also puts them in a pressure position, because now they're going to sit on this little chair and and feel like they've done very well today, and then be like, oh crap, is this our standard, or is this our beginner's luck? And that is going to be something that only games in the future are going to remain to be seen. I think they tried to put away a 3-pointer then just to speed the next round up, but Gecko missed that one. So it will be 18 points to the new Egg Boys, and just for Ouroboros as we go into the second round. Then Ouroboros are gonna need to pull out tricks. As Legos very correctly said, Nilly and Gecko both very good at intercepting, and that's going to be a problem for the short passing that and the amount of passing, for that matter, that Ouroboros actually have, and they might need to do something different.
This is it's looking grim for them, and it's just your mentality wise, losing 16, or not 16, that it ended up being 14 points is, I mean, you have, if you can't do a mental reset, you're basically gonna lose this round too, because that's a crushing defeat if you keep thinking about it. But if you're in Ouroboros' position right now, you need to think, oh, we're down by 1 round. We're down by like 14 points. We're down by 1 round. That's how it goes. We'll get them next time. And then they need to change it up drastically if they want something to happen, because holy goddamn, that was something of a showing up for Egg Boys.
It absolutely was. It absolutely was. But again, you can play very well in your opening tournament, and then everything can start going wrong as other teams get used to you, or you can stay on top of your game. Time is going to tell. I think it's way too early for anyone to make any kind of assessment.
We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen either the full potential or the full potential of the answers to what is happening just quite yet. PE jousts from both teams will make sure that Ouroboros will be there just a little bit beforehand. Matty will pick it up though, so no harm, no foul, and it will end up in the hands of Nilwick. Nilwick has an open goal, but he goes for the shot over to Gecko. And they're now just going for a slow setup, not going for any insane chances, not going anything insane. They just need some points, and they know it. They've shown they can do it, and Nilwick gets the first 2 for them. Only 30 seconds in. That's a good start. Good start.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get their first 3-pointer, incidentally, quite early on. And much earlier on, actually, in the last game. So, you know, I think Ouroboros aren't going to worry too much about a 2-pointer at this stage, but it's all the other points that could be potentially coming that they might need to worry about. But again, we will see. We will see.
We will indeed. So a PE joust coming out from, that is Egg Boys, going out, maybe trying to grab that disc away from the, that is the QB, but he will not be able to grab it away, and Torn will just sail it straight on in, evening it out straight from the start. And this is kind of what you want to do if you're Ouroboros. You just want to even out any sort of points you get, maybe get a single point here and there, but it's obvious that Egg Boys are... I don't know what it is, but they're playing really well. It might be beginner's luck. It might just be that they've just figured it out. Probably not.
I mean, you know, as far as fitting a puzzle piece into the former team synergy, Gecko was a good fit. So I'm not surprised that things are working out this well. But, you know, this is... Again, they're a new team, and other teams, is that going in? Not quite. New teams still need time to figure them out. I know for an absolute fact that as a team, you start to figure teams out and what they do in their positioning and their general play. Open goal will be converted by Nilowick at that point, as I'm saying that. And it's now that it's Gecko in there instead of Lego. Teams are gonna have to figure out what's changed. Okay, their pressure is still good, but it's slightly different. Their positioning is still good, but it's slightly different. It's going to take time to adjust to that because a lot of this gameplay is counterplay, and that's the main advantage of being a new team. Is the counterplay against you is not going to be there. It's like everything you do that's new is like a cheese strat almost.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they will evolve this, what will happen with it, and I'm looking forward to see how maybe teams like Ouroboros is going to answer to it, because they need to change it up a little bit if they want to take games from them. It's been quite apparent. So Ambient will send it up to Sundance, and Sundance will send it just wide of the goal, as there won't be anyone in there to grab it out. I think that was a missed shot, I missed a bounce a little bit. Don't know what happened, but Sundance will grab it back, sending it over to Torn, and Torn will have an open... Not an open goal, that was a complete lie. I just lied to you. He'll get the 2 points. There we go. Still 1 point behind, but it's a little bit of a start, and you want to keep the pressure up. You don't want to give them that insane lead, so you can still have a chance at maybe getting a lucky 3-pointer in there. Maybe something else can happen, and then you can be back in the game.
It's a very close game compared to the last one. So we're dealing with just like a 1 point deficit. I have a feeling that's going to change quite soon, but this is a little bit more of what Ouroboros want. Oh, fast pressure from Torn then. He does actually manage to get the pass off. The disc is free at the moment, and if Nilowick gets his hands on it, he's going to have himself a 3-pointer, which he will. And he misses, unlike Nilowick, but he will go the just kidding way and catch it and put it in for a 2 anyway.
Just kidding. We only need 2 points. We can still do this. And there's still 3 minutes left, and only a 3-pointer behind is Ouroboros, so there's plenty of time for things to be shaken up, plenty of time for this to go into a third round. But it is looking a little bit like one of the earlier games where Ouroboros is not comfortably taking these goals. They're kind of clawing at them, kind of getting what they can, not really just they don't have that that thing that I can't remember what it's called. Speaking of things that I can't remember what it's called. Sundance will have the disc, sending it in. Oh, it will be a great save by, I believe that was Matty. He has been doing fantastically, and his saving has only gotten better. Lone Gecko will grab it, sending it down. Nilowick will be punched out, and Torn will be punched out by himself. Again there, but it will be Ouroboros that gets there first. Sending it back to Torn. Torn now has a 1v1. If he can get past Matty, he has an open goal, but he doesn't quite make it happen. And Nilowick will be there to maybe get it back. He will. A good clear from him. Now they only need to boost. But Ouroboros is a lot faster in their boosting. They will be punched out, and there might be an opportunity here as 2 people from the wasted potential, not wasted potential, that is Egg Boys are there. And Nilowick will get 2 more points, sending this up to now 5 points ahead. A 2-pointer and a 3-pointer.
So, Ouroboros are falling a little behind in this game now, as Egg Boys are increasing that lead 2-2. And they are really going to have to start putting away some goals and defending more vigorously against this new team if they are going to hope to win this one. Let's see if it starts now with Torrin in the tunnel as he goes for a pass down to Ambient as they are in their standard left and right positions. Sundance is on the pillar, but Gecko has noticed him. He's going to go for Torrin instead as it floats above, and Matty overcommits, meaning it is now 6-9 with 2 minutes left. It's possible, but not probable.
It is. Yeah.
We are in the second round, Ali, and it was Egg Boys that took the first round. So
14,
Ouroboros need to win this.
Points. Yeah, they need to win this, and it's yeah, unlikely. I think possible is the word you'd use for this. It is not a probable thing. It is possible. It can happen. We need to see a little bit more from Ouroboros. A great punch out, great intercept from them, though. Might be able to change this a little bit, and Torrent sends it in for 2 points. Only a couple of seconds in. God damn, that was efficient.
It could have almost been a 3 then, and that would have been a bit of a problem. I think maybe Egg Boys are getting a little bit relaxed, a little bit complacent at this moment. They definitely, this is their 5th game. They've done very well. They've beaten the Giants today, which is what they set out to do as well. And maybe they're kind of grinding down to a bit of a halt now, possibly, or maybe Ouroboros are presenting a stronger fight than they did in that first round, or a combination of both. But that QB disc will be sent down to Torrin in the end, who is going to just relaxedly send that up. Sundance unable to get it.
It will be Nilowick that kind of pushes that, slaps that away over to his teammates who have boosted it over to the half they want to be in. And Nilowick, again, just passing that to himself, sending it straight in. 3 points. This is looking more and more improbable for Ouroboros to grab this back. What's that, 4 points? And we haven't, we haven't seen the answer. We haven't seen what can Ouroboros really do to make this happen. I don't think, have they been in the lead in this game at all?
No, not this game. Not the other game either. I don't think our Egg Boys have fallen behind. And my microphone unplugged itself or went crazy a moment ago. That's why I suddenly stopped. Put it back now, and it looks like in that time, the Egg Boys got themselves another 2 points.
They did, got a fair few points actually.
They have, and Sundance right now, dancing around on top block. Ambient waiting patiently on the pillar, but he jumps off and mistimes it as Matty now has the clear for his team. But it does look like Torrin is the first one to that disc. Not quite though, as Nilowick grabs it, but Torrin is ready for him instead. Ambient catching that disc in the tunnel. There's lots of passing around going from Ouroboros, but they need to be pushing up. They need to be thinking about some aggressive plays right now if they're going to want to get those 2 points back against this team. It's still thinking about the pass back. Matty will collect that. Sends it down to Nilowick, who's got himself an open shot, and that's going to go in for a 3-point to seal the deal on this game. That is the last nail in the coffin, because I don't think Ouroboros are going to miraculously find 7 points in 30 seconds.
That would be a different Ouroboros than, I mean, a different Ouroboros than we've ever seen. I don't think we've ever seen him get that many points that quickly, especially not against a team like Egg Boys. And yeah, unlikely, improbable, whatever you want to call it, it's probably over for them. Ouroboros will play it out though, as you can do, but yeah, this is more or less over. And Egg Boys don't even go for the aggressive push. Yeah, they're just going, just staying in their half. Just, we just gotta play defensive. We don't need to get any more points. And yeah, as I say, that Lone Gecko just steals the disc straight out from under them, sends it down, and only 9 seconds left. Yeah, this is over. This is over.
This game is done and dusted. They put up a better fight in the second round compared to the 4-18 game that they had. But this is a clear, concise win for Egg Boys with a 2-0. Complete home run from Egg Boys today.
Good games.
You know, they've done very well for themselves, but again, they've pushed themselves into a corner now where it's like, are we going to repeat these results next week, or is this a kind of I don't want to call it beginner's luck so much because there really wasn't much luck involved in their play today. They played very well. I'm not going to take that from him. But beginner's luck in the sort of context that people use it as to say that you're a new team and things are working out for you well.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see indeed. But I don't think right now anyone can start asking those questions because it takes a long time to really create a pattern of success. And I expect to see very, very good things from them. They did incredibly well today. But time will tell. Time will definitely tell.
I expect at least top 3. I mean, that would be the least I would expect from them. That's a lot to put on their shoulders, but they have pushed it up.
Yeah. If they play like they did today, it's impossible that they won't be top 2. But, you know, we're talking about in the immediate sense.
Also, maybe, I don't know, maybe Gravity had a little bit of a shaky day. We do have good days and bad days. Maybe this was an extremely good day for Egg Boys and just a kind of a bad day for Gravity. It was an upset for sure. But
I mean, from what I saw, as memory serves, Gravity made way more mistakes than usual, and Egg Boys made way less mistakes than they did when they were Synergy. That's what it seemed like to me. I saw a lot of missed passes, missed bounces, and stuff like that, and missed shots from Gravity that you just don't normally see. And it's not typical play for them for that to happen. Now, it doesn't mean that you know suddenly we can take away the win from Egg Boys and say, oh well, Gravity didn't play as strong as they normally do. That's the only reason you won. What I really mean is that I don't think Gravity put up the fight that they can, and I expect to see a lot more competitive matches between those two giants in the following weeks. That is my expectation. But it is a humble and lacking knowledge-y brain of mine to think anything more than that. I mean, at the end of the day, who can know?
Yeah, exactly. I think this has, most of all, this has just made me extremely excited for next week.
It made me excited for next week, but it made me excited for Europe as well. Europe, EU sounds better.
Europe,
because you know this Egg Boys is showing to be a very strong team, and if you can dance with Gravity, then the Americans could be in for a bit of a fight at Leicester, which is what we always like to see. We want to see good, you know, battles between NA and EU. And that's what it's looking like. But it seems so silly to talk about this Team Egg Boys as if we know anything other than the one cup that they've done so far.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it really doesn't define your future. And I'm not saying that they won't remain where they are. I hope they do. And I mean, in terms of their passing, was fluid, it was concise, they made very few mistakes, and they punished everyone else's. I don't want to see a single team in EU start making more mistakes. But who knows?
Who knows? Who knows either way? We can only sit here, watch the games, commentate on what's happening, be wrong, possibly be right. Who knows?
Indeed. So we are waiting on One Hit Wonders and Mariachis to enter their results. But I think it's probably going to be, I don't know actually. It'll probably be Mariachis are probably going to take that win. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah, and you've been saying that correctly, which is good on you.
I mean, I have been surprised a little bit today by certain plays and certain people, but overall, most of these games have gone as expected. I personally wouldn't have expected Egg Boys to necessarily take the win from Gravity. I actually didn't put forward a prediction. I just couldn't. It's impossible. How can you? How can you predict something like that?
A completely new team based on really good players against one of the just the best. It's just a. Whew. But either way, that's what happened. It didn't really, as we've said this a couple times, didn't really say much. Let's see next week. I'm really excited for next week to see probably Egg Boys versus Gravity again. Probably Egg Boys versus Ouroboros again. Maybe Ouroboros can just, maybe they've seen the error in their maybe too much passing ways and they've come up with something new. Maybe. I don't know. A lot of maybes. But either way, let's see if we have updated our scores. We have not. Still going to be a little bit of time before we can get that in there.
Indeed.
Get our asses out.
Still waiting for. Well, it's been a bit strange with the timing today. We've like constantly had one team that's been kind of dragging it out.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, of course, but just the way it has been.
Mistakes happen.
Indeed. Oh, that's someone at my door. Be right back.
That is someone else's door, just as a siren sounds, so let's hope he doesn't just get raided right now. That would be unfortunate. I actually can't hear if there are any people at my door because I'm behind 2 doors. Lucky me. But in either case, we are more or less done. We're just waiting for the final scores, and here they are. I will just wait for TutorialBot to come back, then we'll tell you the scores, the rankings, and then we'll sign off for today to see you possibly midweek. Looks like there might be some midweek madness going on. We'll see if we can get in on that. And in any case, we'll be here next week for the Stage 2, not finals. They're not the finals because it's the final cup of the Stage 2. If I remember correctly. If not, no big surprise there. I'm wrong quite a lot, so that's fine. But in any case, we'll be back next week with a combat stream, with an arena stream, same time, same place. We've been doing this for quite a while, so you know how this works. No big surprises. I think let's just wait for T-Bot to come back here. Let him do his thing so we can revel in the scores, the both of us, and then give you a proper sign-off. But while we wait, we can just... Jesus, there we go. Just kind of sit correctly, sit up the way we should.
You know what's interesting? As soon as I said there's someone at my door, I heard sirens in the background. I was like, I bet you anything it's going to seem like a police have turned up. So the results are in. Did you throw them out?
We didn't. I was waiting for you to get back here.
Such a hero.
I'm a good one. I'm a good boy. What can I say?
Okay. So
do you want to
do the honors?
No, you do it. You do it, man.
Fine. Team Gravity with the 2-0 on Wasted Potential. Egg Boys, as we just saw, with the 2-0 over Ouroboros. Next Gen lost 2-0 from Smash Dash. One Hit Wonders lost 2-0 from the Mariachis. And Polaris, they got a default win. Nothing exciting there. So, Malaran, thanks ever so much for happening me. Wow,
we
great.
We still have the rankings.
What?
We're not done yet. We still have the rankings.
Just let people make it up in their own head. We don't need...
We can do it really quickly. Egg Boys is number 1, 5 wins, 0 losses, really good on them. Team Gravity is in 2nd place, Ouroboros 3rd place, 4th place is shared between Smash and Dash and Mariachis, 6th place is shared between One Hit Wonders, Polaris and Wasted Potential, and Next Gen is in 9th place. We will have some midweek madness, probably, likely, most, who knows. Either way, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, TutorialBot. It's been a pleasure as always to have you and talk a little bit about your college days from time to time.
Don't do that anymore. Those days are also over. Also, I believe every time you call Smash Dash Smash and Dash, you owe the community £5 each, and there's quite a few of us. So let's make
Jesus, I am
poor.
I can't.
Thank you very much for having me, Lauren. It's been a fun cast as usual, and I will see you next Saturday for hopefully some more
maybe in the middle of the week.
Games.
Maybe in the middle of the week.
Midweek Madness, of course.
Madness.
We'll have some midweek Madness for you as well.
Oh.
Anyway, peace,
Peace.
or I don't know.
Who knows? Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.